Alright, sorry about that, everyone. They started a couple moments before because I messed up the things. So this is a Link to the Past Crosskeys match with Dazed and Clearmouse on comms, and I'm going to give it to them real quick. It's a game 3-2 between Walther and FEARagent, and comms all yours. Go.
Ah, great, thanks. We're jumping right in, just like what Fear is doing, jumping right into that water with that fake flipper. How's it going, Dazed?
Oh, it's going well here. Yeah, we've been off to a quick start already. It looks like Walther went for the basically an uncle start real fast, and he's gone ahead and found the dam at the Hyrule Castle drop with a tree pole being bombs. So he's already got bombs. He's got everything he needs. He's ready to go to find out what we've got in these 5 things, while Fear is quickly hula-hanning and gonna get his stuff real fast. You doing good there, Clearmouse?
Oh yeah, no, I'm doing great. I was really looking forward to this race. When I first saw the pairings, really excited because these are really great runners, very household names in the community. Walter, of course, is also an admin of this. Fear, so something about the league that's maybe coming up. Yeah, you might have heard of him, right? So obviously, very talented runners. But unfortunately, this is a 3-2 match, so someone's gonna have to go home after, or stay home, I guess, after this.
Yeah, we're finally 6 weeks into everything with this, and now it's time to find out exactly, who's gonna be able to still think about possibly moving on after this. So it's kind of do or die time for both of these runners here to see exactly which way they're gonna go. As Walther really wanted to hug that statue, apparently.
Yeah, it's like, those things, unfortunately, regardless of what glove upgrade that you have or don't, you're not going to be able to push that thing.
Yeah, kind of interesting. Walther going for an early South Shore play here. So far, not working out.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, this typically, like, this area, you don't actually get to see that many runners at least open with, or soon-ish afterwards they open with, and it actually often gets somewhat isolated, right? Because runners kind of like to come over here later, maybe with a glove, with the boots, with the flute, something like that, to make his life a little bit easier. But Walter's looking like he's going to try and swim some more.
Interesting. Okay, he's gonna go ahead and get to Hobo as quick as he can. It looks like here. Which kind of, yeah, this is kind of a very interesting play. It's I didn't expect it by any means, but I'm kind of wondering if he's going to get a quick save and quit from Hobo here, or if he's going to maybe try to go back down and go through that whirlpool into the kind of Kakariko area, because either way could probably be a pretty decent play on his side.
Yeah, I liked how Walter just tried to go through that whirlpool that the Zoro's spawning, and it's like, that's that's kind of like a really spicy move, and just in case of that, if the Zoro, the timing wasn't right? Because he's in fake flipper state, if he gets hit, he's starting over.
Yeah, it's one of the big downsides about doing fake flippers there, is just you're just always have to kind of worry about, where things are going to spawn, what exactly you're going to need to avoid and things like that. So yeah, Walther, instead, it looks like we're gonna go just check the main island here. So this is an awkward place to get to for sure. And Fear just shows off that the standard mode bomb escape strats right there, and picks up a big key to Turtle Rock already out of the first chest there in the map chest there.
Yeah, it's almost as if all of these guys had so much practice from some tournament that kind of wrapped up semi recently, that only had standard stars, so they're probably pretty familiar with these, with using bombs to get through escape.
Yeah, definitely, and it looks like we got a really easy Sank start here. The Sank is just going to be in the Kakariko well, so we're just ready to go for these guys. Nice and easy, not having to worry about a thing. Fear getting right through this escape sequence, not having any problem. Walther not grabbing hardly anything from the back of escape there. Got a bottle out of it, but that was the best thing.
Yeah, but I mean, at least he's got these locations checked off, right? And I don't think we found Ganon yet, right? We've only seen a couple drop downs so far, so still on the hunt.
Yeah, we're missing a few things. Now, Walther deciding, since he's got that easy Sank start here, he's going to go and check a little bit more. Finds an early Eastern.
Ooh, okay. Okay, I believe even this early on, people, I guess I don't know about Walter's opinions with Eastern Palace, but, I can certainly understand, being very reasonable to kind of not do Eastern Palace, finding it this early.
Yeah, no, I mean, right there at that point in time, I might be tempted to do that, but like, man, I'm just kind of thinking to myself at the same time, like, if I have boots, I'm a lot more tempted to go do that than if I don't. So Fear went ahead. He went all the way down to Zelda's cell there. He got himself a like key to Misery Mire and some other things that aren't particularly exciting.
Yeah, I want to say we saw a map down there, but okay, all right. So speaking of exciting things, Walter, continuing his quest, he finds Mire Shed. He picks up our first sword.
That's not bad for sure. And it's right there, right next to the Kakariko spawn point, so that is really, really, really easy to get back to for later.
Yeah, speaking of, yeah, Fear just found a castle tower, so, you know, having that sword that Walter has, which Fear, I'm assuming he's going to pick up pretty shortly. He's going to have a lot easier time clearing at least the first couple rooms, unlike by using bombs or something.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you'd much rather have the sword to get through things than other ways here. As it looks like, kind of interestingly though, Fear gonna take a little bit of extra time here. He's gonna go back through and check what the other Hyrule Castle connector is here.
Yeah, and I don't think we've seen Fear do Dark Cross. I don't know if he wants to. It is in the light world, so it's not probably going to be as dangerous. It might be a little bit harder, though, because he doesn't really have, like, a location sensor, right? Like, if he had Walter's sword, I think he'd be a lot more comfortable.
Yeah, that's kind of the...
Yeah.
Kind of the thing. He's not there yet. But instead, we found our way up to Spike Cave there through the other one, so now he's walking around as a bunny.
We found Ice Palace early. Okay, so that early ice rod, of course, isn't going to do us too much good inside that palace. We are going to have to find the other rod at some point, or Bombos. Of course, we already have a sword. Speaking of early dungeons, we just found Pod.
Yeah, so Walter's gonna have a decision here now. He's got a bottle. If he wants to break open the right side, he's got an easy way to do it there. He won't have to worry about Mimic clipping and breaking in his fingers by any means, but
yeah. Oh, and okay. Yeah, and yeah, it was the green potion too, right? So it's gonna be a very, very easy refill.
Right, and it might actually make a little bit of sense here, because one of his best weapons right now is both are magic-based. So if he wants something with a little bit of range, he could actually go ahead and do this, and it looks like that's where he's going here. He's going to take his bottle, maybe Mimic Clip. We'll see exactly which one he feels like doing today.
Yeah, I mean, it's actually looks like we have actually quite the divergence, right? So if Walter finds something here on the bowlock side of Pod, especially, you know, we don't know when that bow's going to show up, this actually could be pretty big for him.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so, yep, we're going to use the potion there. It fills up all of Walter's magic. He's going to walk in, walk to the right. The camera's now unlocked, so these mimics are going to walk off the screen, and the game just assumes they're dead. So that is that, and now he's free to go back here and get the 2 items that we're hiding.
Yep, those mimics look really dead to me after they just move right back on the screen.
Hey, just because the game can't realize that there's something else there, is we're gonna pick up another sword already.
That is that's a pretty good great fight. Oh my god! Wow. Okay, so we have confirmation that there's a bow just like sitting somewhere out there in the world. It's not entirely clear though when that other bow is gonna show up, because another sword plus silvers, basically. It may not have to. It doesn't have to be like in the logical, like a near logic chain, like whatsoever, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no. I'm blaming you for that, because you were saying there might be another bow over there, and sure enough, yes, there was another bow over there, Clear Mouse.
Now, of course, okay. So the good news for Fear is that he did pick up the bottle early. You know, assuming that he kind of retraces some of Walter's steps, and he's willing to do the potion glitch. You know, Walter won't have like Fear will be basically on the same footing as Walter.
Yeah, no, I mean, they should be, nobody's going to get really an advantage out of something like that, probably. I mean, I can't see Fear just deciding, oh, I found Pod, let me leave the 2 items on the right side there, even though I can get to them really easily. I can't see him doing that. We're going to find out in just a second, because he's about to walk into Pod, and then decide exactly what he wants to do with it. Now, one thing I could see him doing is deciding to come back maybe a little later with a pod key and try to get more items out of it, but even then, I kind of expect him to go ahead and break the right side here, as you're wondering where Ganon is, and he's at Magic Bat.
Okay, so a hammer is always probably gonna be something that we're always looking for, but this case it's definitely we're gonna need that today. So what haven't we haven't seen the useless stuff, right? Like we haven't seen useless fairy, we haven't and
Yeah.
I guess we haven't seen Uncle yet.
Yeah, we're still missing a bunch of drop downs here. Like we've literally only checked 3. We've checked. We've seen Ganon, we've seen Well, and we've seen Back of Escape. We're missing everything else right now because these guys just have not gone to the north side of the world yet.
Okay, so so I'm potentially good or bad news, right? So because we found Ganon early, which is sorry, not at his vanilla location behind Act 2, means that the climb is potentially not required.
Oh no!
Oh, Fear! Oh my god, dude! Did he time it right? Did he make it?
No, he didn't.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Does Fear knows how to mimic lip?
Yeah, it looks like it. So this is plan. This is what happens when you get to plan B here.
Dude, it's like how often can you complain about a full magic drop, right? Like you always want to see that, except this one time.
Okay, he's going for the unbuffered method here. This is not. This is one of those things that seems harder than it actually is once you practice it a little bit.
That was a lot of qualifiers, Days.
He's almost got it here. That mimic's ears needs to get a little bit of past that thing, and then he slides right off the screen. Well done there, Fear.
So pretty, yeah. Okay, well this is very good news. So of course the unfortunate news is he is still out a green potion that he didn't have to be, but at least it was expected that he was still going to use a potion. But he's going to get his Master Sword. He's going to get his lock bow.
Yeah, exactly. And he's not. More importantly, he's just not going to be behind Walther just because of some completely unlucky random drop there. Now, if you're interested in kind of learning how to do that mimic clip thing, it is kind of the best way to explain it. There is if you can do spin speed, you're basically doing spin speed with your with that unbuffered clip kind of thing. It's not as difficult as you think if you can get a good rhythm to it, but it's not by any means easy.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
I guess it's.
Yeah, it takes a little bit of practice for sure. And Walther, though, he's going to go back to Dark Cross. He's going to go ahead and sink a little bit of extra time into this area.
Yeah, I mean, and the fact that he has a Master Sword, and he is only on 3 hearts, right? So Death Warping out isn't going to be, I think, too unreasonable. Especially, it looks like he even has bombs out, so he could even take a quicker Death Warp. He's willing to spend a couple.
I mean, his other option, to be quite honest, I didn't see if he had checked all of the entrances in this area, but he might decide just to say, you know what, forget it. I'm just going to save and quit out of here.
Yeah, that's also a good point. I want to say that he hasn't checked the other ones. He just went straight basically to the back after he did the Hyrule basement.
He's got to be a little careful now because he's down to
he can't Death Warp out early before getting the item.
Well, he can do this though. He's going to go ahead and pull out his blue cane here, so that way he knows exactly where he is and knows exactly where the chest is. Right, Walther, you pulled your sword the other way, buddy. You're gonna get.
We're getting there. Oh, of course!
Right.
What a great compass. Oh, but we were just at Ice Palace, so we're gonna get full knowledge item count whenever we decide to go back.
It's extremely important. That is, Fear gonna go ahead. He took down those basically. What are those guys?
Ball and chain guards.
Ball and chain guards. Yeah, they had a better name, Dark Nuts or something, aren't they?
Oh,
as well.
Did they? Okay, I'm actually not as familiar with the bestiary here for. But that sounds much cooler than like gold ball and chain guards.
Maybe I'm just remembering Ocarina of Time and the rest of Zelda and calling them something they shouldn't be. But either way, they get a shield. Yay!
A shield. It could be worse, right? You could find another compass.
I mean, true. I mean, it could always be worse. But yep.
Yeah, it looks like Fear, though, is going to try and do the same thing. Now, because I think he's already explored a lot of the other entrances, like, he might just be tempted, in this case, to just save and quit out. Because he already went over to Dark World and Ice Palace through, I think, Hyrule Castle right. Which is exactly where Walter's going.
Yep, so Walther's going to end up on Spike Cave. He'll get to Ice Palace, and then we'll kind of sit here and wait for a minute for somebody to do something completely different from the other one so we can see something new.
Yeah, we would really like to be able to find some progression. So a bow, is really nice. A sword, especially 2 swords, is really nice for offense. These guys are going to have a pretty comfy time, but, we're still looking for something that will give us some more accessibility, right? A glove, some boots, right? Can unlock a lot of locations, not to mention, going fast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Pearl would be nice too.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the Pearl.
I mean, if we end up in Dark World, we want to actually be able to get chests. So Fear, we found the right side of Turtle Rock. So Fear's going to do a quick bomb jump, clip through this rail, and then it looks like now he's got a decision here. Now, the Ice Rod's, if he's going to go kill this Pokey, the Ice Rod's not his best option. His best option is taking Burna, and Burna will just absolutely crush him. But we'll see exactly what he does. The Ice Rod does not freeze the Pokey.
Unfortunately. Yeah, sometimes you kind of find out the hard way. I don't know if this is Fear's discovery play, if nothing else, but, so it doesn't really matter. 3 hearts, any male is pretty uncomfortable here when you have to fight anything in Turtle Rock or this Pokey. Wow, Fear.
Well done on his side there, for sure.
Yeah, so like the Pokies do 4 hearts of damage. Those floating skulls also do 4 hearts of damage on green males, so Fear is definitely in 1-hit KO mode.
Yep, but he's gonna get his what was that? Couple
50 rupees.
50 rupees. 50 rupees for sequence breaking a 4-key Turtle Rock locked chest there.
It's a very buried and deep logic rupees. Yep.
Very useful. We'll be very happy to find them. And so in this time, Walther did find the bomb shop there while we were waiting, and gave us a little bit of information that the 5 and 6 crystals today are going to be Desert Palace and Turtle Rock. So we actually know that we need to be in here. Blue Mail pickup over on Fear's side. 3 hearts is probably a good thing, but does mean Death Warping's going to be fun now.
Yeah, well, so at least the good news is that they're still only on 3 hearts, so even if they have Blue Mail, Death Warping's not going to be, the end of the world.
Okay, Fear gets to that Turtle Rock big chest right there, so and he's going to be able to go check out Crystal Roller Room really quickly here, as Walther is going to keep making his way over there. We've seen that we don't need to beat Aga 1 today because there's just a map there hiding behind it. It was a vanilla drop, but it was a map.
Yeah, it's I mean, you don't even need you need probably most of the maps in order to get your crystal pendant knowledge, but I mean you can probably make do with just a handful of them, especially if you can find like Sahashula and like the bomb shop. Did we just find another sword?
We found another sword, so killing things is going to be pretty easy today.
Yeah,
so
offense wise, we are sitting pretty.
Yeah, who needs health when you can just kill everything? I mean, done and done.
Oh yeah, yes. Speaking of, we did see in this case Walter found out that Turtle Rock is a crystal. Early Ice Rock is surprising, but at least we know that we don't have to go on an Ice Rod hunt, at least for this seed. Of course, we could still be going for any number of other Ice Rod like hunts, such as Dicky hunts, but at least we don't have to go find that Ice Rod today.
Yeah, and it looks like what we found over on Fear side is we found a way to get over to the Dark World there, to Dark Sanctuary, actually, through the Laser Eye connector in Turtle Rock, which is actually not a terrible place to have a connector, because you can kind of go because that's actually one of the more awkward places to get to in Turtle Rock, in the Dark World. So now that Fear's already done that actually kind of might save him some time in the long run. Okay, now which one is Walther in right now? I'm trying to look. This is
the back of... sorry, this is the other side of Old Man Rescue? Like he's gonna pick him up, maybe?
No, the way he's going, this is like
maybe
dark.
Yeah.
This is Death Mountain Descent. Yeah, so okay. And that takes him up to Death Mountain on the right side there. So
Well,
that's a
okay,
nice
so we
little
did,
find.
yeah, we did descend into death. Oh, no! Oh man. Well, I guess we're gonna have to find that butter sword at some point, because a temper sword is just not gonna cut it against these Tektites.
He was a little overconfident there.
Alright, so Fear, though, meanwhile, exploring Eastern Palace, he does have a bow. Unfortunately, no big key, unless, of course, it's here, in which case this is an amazingly good play by Fear, in which case he can just clear out Eastern Palace.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised he went for it, but like you said, yeah, if he finds the big key, he looks like an absolute genius. Either way, though, he's going to be able to get 3 items here out of the front here in Logic. Then he'll, at that point, be able to get 1 more.
Holy cow!
Or he'll get the Moon Pearl.
Did he get the Pearl out of Eastern? Oh, well,
yeah,
if Walter runs out of things to do, he'll have to go back to Eastern eventually. But like, holy cow, that is a pretty big find for Fear.
Yeah, no, that is what you would call very, very good, because yeah, God knows when Walther's actually going to find the way over there, because yeah, that's this. What Walther did find is he found our old man spawn points there, both the front entrance and the back entrance. The front entrance leads you out to the Turtle Rock Bridge right now, and on the other side of that bridge there, you've got Hookshot Cave. So Walther's got some good information here. The problem is he doesn't have the Moon Pearl.
Yeah, it's and hopefully, you know, and the fact that the Moon Pearl is actually pretty early. I mean, you know, Eastern, of course, you know, they just kind of stumbled upon it in the first, what, I don't know, like, you know, 5 minutes or something like that. Hopefully, the Moon Pearl, at least for Walter's sake, is not going to lock him out of too many things. Or maybe it'll be a good thing if he gets locked out early, because that means that he's going to have to go back to Eastern or something.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was kind of interesting. Like a lot of times you don't want to go into, you're not going to want to go into Eastern Palace early, because it's like, oh, I've got a bow, I'll just wait for big key, blah, 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 blah. And Fear not doing that, has given himself a pretty sizable advantage here.
Yeah, alright, so speaking of, with that bow, looks like Fear is actually going to try and set up and sell a fake flipper, so he needs a couple of, or 5 extra things on the screen to fill up all of the slots, and bam, we can flip.
Worst trick in the
flippers?
game.
Who needs real flippers these days?
Clear mouse, it's the worst trick in the game.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, Daze.
It's just the worst trick in the game. I hate that game I hate that trick so much. It's so finicky.
It is. I absolutely agree with you. So maybe if Walter does it, I'll warn you, and then you can just close your eyes for a bit, and I'll tell you we can open them again.
Oh, you're a doll. Thank you so much.
Alright, so did we just find another dungeon here on Walter's side?
Yes, we are at Tower of Hera here over at the, basically, Flute Spot 5. So we're going to be able to get 2 things out of here and then shrug our shoulders and go somewhere else. Nothing interesting, just a couple of rupees. Fear's going to do some more fake flipping, and man, I don't know. We'll see exactly where he wants to go here. Is he going to go check the middle island as well? Yeah, he is.
Yeah, looks like. So we just see the 10 bomb uncle pack on the floating island. So they're not going to, of course, need it, but Fear with enough money, he's going to be able to replenish his supply. Yeah, and it actually does make sense if they don't want to at least try and. Daze, close your eyes for a second.
I was watching. Sorry.
Sorry. I was gonna say, like, so maybe, you know, so they don't have flippers, they don't have gloves. So actually Zora is actually not in Logic, and despite that they don't even have money, I would not be surprised if Fear decided to not like just kind of skip out on this area until he has more money. But he found Sick Kid here, so let's see what this bottle is gonna turn up with.
3 bombs and the ability to swim back out the entrance. Alright, so let's...
Is that normal?
I mean, that's just kind of the way that you do it there sometimes. So we're gonna run up here over on the other side there. We did get a hook shot out of Agnes cave there, really easily on Walther's side there, that's just sitting there basically at the dam location, which is nice and easy there. That does mean Fear's not going to miss that too soon. Unfortunately for him, it would probably be better if he had gone south instead of going to the right. Now, if he goes through this dark cave that he's going to find in just a second, he's going to find the other end of Hookshot Cave. So a little inefficient, unlucky routing on his side, but we'll see what he does with this dark room.
Yeah, but I guess at the same time, like, Walther also did this, or he found this without the hook shot, right? So at least they're going to be on even footing.
Right. Yeah, this is just the voices of people who can see everything that both runners are doing. So, like, we know exactly what they should have done, even though, you know, good luck actually doing that.
Yeah, we see everything except for the NCL of fake flipper. Mm-hmm. That never happens on restreams.
Nope, never happens. So, yep, and so now Fear's gone ahead, he's found a Hookshot Cave. Now he's going to go ahead and be able, because he's got the Moon Pearl, he's going to be able to just go ahead and clear through and see exactly where this connector is going to lead him. Chances are this is either going to be somewhere on Death Mountain, or is going to be in the Dark World, probably. Or the other option.
Yeah, speaking of, so this is actually I don't know if it's considered to be convenient, but the fact is we did find Upper Hyrule Castle, which means at least we don't need to get to the Pyramid Mirror over here. And luckily, we have at least Master Sword of Force Realms up here has the cave, so we're gonna we don't have to isolate that middle entrance, which actually ends up being pretty useless. I've already forgotten what it was because because we don't ever go back to it.
Yeah, definitely. We're never gonna head over there. Well, okay. So Walther's finding the dam up on that. He'll end up going right back there. Fear's finding a quick way to get himself locked out because he doesn't have a glove yet. Over there in basically the backup desert.
Yeah, and especially on Walther's side, fighting the dam this early is really nice. So he looks like he is back on Death Mountain, despite the kind of early overworld death.
Yeah, I mean, he wanted to get up here real quick because that hookshot is going to give him the ability to just head directly over to the left side there of Death Mountain, and that's where all of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 entrances are.
There are definitely a lot. I guess I'm not sure when he's going to go back to Hookshot Cave, because there are going to be kind of 4 items just waiting for him.
Yeah, kind of the problem here is he's got to get that pearl. So for Walther, what he's really hoping here is that somehow he goes and finds a key to Eastern Palace. If he can do that, then he's going to be golden. But
yeah, that's true. Mm-hmm.
Other than that, he's going to check everything else before he dives Eastern at this point.
Yeah, and hopefully, at least for Walter's sake, and also for Fear's sake, eventually, they're going to hopefully be able to pick up some boots so they can at least make the climbs of multiple climbs at this point for Death Mountain just a little bit faster. With boots, of course, we've got a hook shot, we've got the sword, we do spin speed, we do hook speed, we can item dash. Hello, shovel.
That's an interesting place for that to be. Now, okay, we're going to be up here finding Mini Moldorm Cave on top of the mountain, which is kind of nice here. That's kind of one of our, probably our first real, actually, completable 5-item cave here outside of the well. And we're going to so far get Quake. And a big key to Ice Palace.
Interesting. We found Ice Palace. We did find a big key early, which means we don't have to necessarily go back for that item. We just need some sort of fire source. And of course, a very nice hook shot for Walter, being able to kill those mini Moldorms all at once. No sword beams for him initially. Oh no, actually maybe he did sword beams. Because that's always going to be another pretty quick way in order to kill the mini Moldorms.
Well, yeah, and it looks like right now what we got here is Walther just kind of slowly picking up health after health after health after health upgrade here. Just like a little bit of pieces of heart here and a little bit this. He's sitting here with 6 hearts already. Fear's got 5, so it's not like he's doing poorly on this. But we found another dungeon on Walther's side here. This is the back of Skull Woods.
Yeah, we're definitely very dungeon early. Seems like this seed. Of course, Walter can't do anything so far. It's not necessarily because he doesn't have the the key, a small sword in order to get there. We still need a small key to Skull Woods, and of course we still going to need a fire source. Ideally, of course, we have a fire rod for it to be everything in logic, etc., etc. But you know, I can see these guys do it with the lamp, no problem.
Yeah, no, they wouldn't have any issue with that part. There's just one simple little bomb jump you can kind of take care of real fast there that you learn within about 3 times of playing Crosskeys.
Yeah.
And
wait, Alter. Oh, maybe he wants to see what the other entrances are, because we did find another entrance to Paradox.
Right, he's got one more little entrance here to check. Now, the interesting thing here is this actually does put the old man in Tower of Hera today, so we're not going to be able to do that yet. So the kind of was thinking Walter's probably going to have an easier time getting back to that, getting back to the Hookshot Cave, because once he finds the old man, well, not if it's in Hera. So now that's kind of putting Hookshot Cave in another kind of little bit more awkward place to go. But he's going to get 7 items out of this. Let's see if maybe one of them is different. How about a small key to Swamp Palace? That's a good one.
Yeah, that's definitely one of the keys that you want to see. Well, assuming of course Swamp is a crystal. I think it's always it's always a dream in Crosskeys if Swamp is a pendant and you just never have to set foot in it. However, though, you know, we did find a dam early. I don't think we found Swamp Palace yet, but could be an indication that something necessary is in there.
Well, let's find out. We're gonna go for a couple more items. We get a red boomerang out of this, and come on, something better. A small key to Ice Palace. Okay, so
well, if we get we get a fire source, I think that is a very high place of contention in order to be there.
Okay, well, let's find out where these other connectors there go over on Walther's side. We found, okay, so, well, this tells us that basically Paradox Cave is 100% in logic, and everything that Walther did was also 100% in logic, as that just spit him out on basically the Light World shopping mall area.
Yeah, unfortunately, out of all of these item locations, we still haven't found a glove, so Walter's not going to be able to figure out what that last entrance is.
Now, Fear on the other side, he's deciding he's going to go, and we're going to start checking Dark World locations, it looks like.
Yeah, with that pearl, Fear has every ability to be able to do this. And I think because Walter found that hookshot, like, it is technically in logic for Fear, because he could just hookshot over and get to this entrance. Yep,
yeah, no, you're 100% right. If that was something that he wanted to do, he could do that very easily. So...
Hello. Did you see that hammer up there on Bumper Cape?
that would be why I stopped talking. Just like, oh, that's there, is it?
Yeah, that's kind of important. So we might be chasing connectors on Fear's side pretty aggressively if he wasn't already before.
Oh, I mean, at this point, it's just like if I find anything that's a connector, I'm gonna immediately go to check it, just because it's just like I want to find out where that stinking hammer is gonna be. So yeah, hammer on bumper ledge today. So we've got to figure out exactly which one of our magic connectors is going to take us there. This is where the game can get really interesting, because you're going to start diving all of these connectors here, and every once in a while you're going to get locked out someplace stupid and get really salty about it.
Now, of course, the good news on Walter's side is that everything that, you know, he doesn't have the pearl, right? But if he comes out here, he can at least still buddy walk and get this information, right? So he won't necessarily be at a loss. But of course, the more of a problem is, you know, Fear having the pearl, so he can actually end up doing a lot more as Link as opposed to a bunny.
He's going to be able to do one of my favorite parts of the Dark World here and just go directly to Skull Woods, because there's something like 5 chests just lying on the ground right in this area that you can just walk in and pick up. And even if you're bunny walking, you can come in and just do a little bit of you can do a little bit of death abuse and get yourself directly in there, which is, I mean, one of my favorite tricks to do there. I'll see if I can pull it off later today, if the game lets me.
Well, I mean, you know, if you just get the pearl, just hard reset your game and then go back. It sounds very easy.
Yeah, pearlless seed or bust. That's the dream. That's the dream. All right, but Walther's gonna have to deal with not Walther, but Fear is gonna be dealing with the Gibdo room here as Walther's about to make his way up and deal with Chain Choms, which hit a little bit harder.
Yeah, in this case, Walter. So the blue mail was here, right? So
Right.
Walter's still on green mail, so he can still take one hit and be okay.
Yeah, and those Chain Choms gave him enough of a space there so that he's able to get around here.
Yeah, Walter
Fear,
also. I was gonna say, yeah.
Go ahead. Yeah, no.
Yeah. I was just gonna say. I was just gonna say. In this case, you know, when Walter was fighting the Pokey, he had a little bit of easier time because he was just on Tempered Sword. So, especially, you know, I know that both Fear and Walter have kind of dabbled in some practice for NMG. So, you know, Walter definitely showing off that he's fairly comfortable killing that Pokey.
Oh yeah, no. If you've got Tempered Sword, you shouldn't have any problem killing that Pokey. You should be able to like just kind of go in there. Now, Walther is gonna dive Misery Mire over on his side here with that hook shot. It does put this first part into logic. Now he's not going to be able to get the Firelock chests, so he is currently just looking at being able to pick up kind of the first 4 chests out of here. As looks like Fear's just picking up pod keys.
Yeah, is this Skull Woods or is this Palace of Darkness? I'm pretty sure like the only 2 small keys he's picked up have been to pod.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of the crazy thing. It was like we're in Skull Woods here, and immediately you're gonna start picking up pod keys because there's 6 of them. Still doesn't really do a lot of good. It's not gonna tell you to go over to pod quite yet, but you're gonna start. You know, pod is just sitting there in Kakariko, so getting over there, not the hardest thing in the world to do.
Yeah, and of course, right. So logically, I think pod is like 146 in terms of keys, right? So one small key does get you something, but of course, you would much rather have a couple more keys to your name before you kind of go back to pod.
Yeah, I mean, 5 is kind of the magic number. If you get to 5, pretty much every cross key player could clear the entire dungeon with that. If you get the big key, that'll be 14 chests that you can clear. Everything's good, everything's great, and everything's grand, as we have now found the Tower of Hera big key out of Thieves Town, which moved right next door to actual Thieves Town. So
it's easy for cross keys locations to just move right next door, or maybe right to another world or something.
It's convenient, yeah. We'll call it convenient.
Although so Walter I think's made his way all through Misery Mire. I'm not sure if we found anything useful though.
I did not.
Not.
I did not see a thing. No, I mean Misery Mire. Yeah, like especially when you can break it open early, you start thinking to yourself, "Oh, there's going to be something in here." As Fear picks up yet another pod key.
I was gonna say, so that pod key, people like Fear might be thinking maybe it's time to go back. I mean, ideally we would have a little bit more, but speaking of a very nice place, Walter back in Eastern Palace. No big key still, but this is going to be very, very good news for him because he's going to be able to pick up his pearl.
I've got to give Fear a little bit of a shout out here. So we're going to go directly to the back of Thieves Town here. We've only got 1 heart. Everything's fine.
It's fine.
It's
fine.
Everything's good.
He's on Tempered Sword. He's gonna try and shoot an arrow to the walls as opposed to Stalfo. He's gonna pick up a couple extra hearts. Everything's fine.
He's gonna show that amazing aim with that pot there, throwing it about 3 feet above the Stalfos.
That Stalfos is really slippery, despite the fact that it's only bones. Not sure where that lubrication is gonna come from. I have hope. If Fear's got that Tempered Sword, he's got a cape. We've got no issues here.
He's great. Everything's great. Yeah, he's making it through no problem here. I'm not really expecting Fear. We're teasing, but to be completely honest, I think I might be a little surprised if Fear started having troubles in here. But now that I've said that, I've doomed him. So let's find out.
Yeah, well, so Fear also has some practice, actually recently, as of some just like low percent, because he is also in the pilot spoiler tourney, and he's the primary runner. So, he's, I think, pretty used to at this point, or he's got some good practice to do with some low percent stuff.
Oh, so far so good. Hasn't taken any hits yet in here. Yeah, if you want to learn low percent, the spoiler races, especially the spoiler key sanity races or something like that, yeah, you're lucky if you get more than like 6 hearts.
Yeah, six hearts blue mail is like it's like luxury.
you get good fast, but at the same time, you're gonna decide that, oh, hey, heart piece. You're not gonna not pick up the heart piece.
Oh no, yeah, especially at this point, you know. And fun fact, right? Blind, when he shoots out the fireballs, it doesn't matter what armor upgrade you're on. They're always going to do 1 heart. Also, good, good on Fear for remembering that he has no glove to his name, so he's going to have to take the long way in order to rescue the maiden.
Yep, so far not having any problem. Now Walther has picked up his Moon Pearl and probably has a moment of going, oh, did Fear already do this?
Yeah, it's definitely not a good feeling when you're now trying to kind of speculate. It's like, oh my gosh, when did my opponent get this? You know, how much early did he get this before me? You know, of course, you know, we know, we're watching, you know, on Fear's side, that Fear actually hasn't done, I guess, like too much that Walter couldn't necessarily do, like without the pearl, right? Like, you know,
Yeah.
we've seen like him crawling into dungeons. We can always just revive and do this all again.
Yeah, well, like the biggest thing is like Walther didn't go ahead and Fear didn't really go into Dark World too far, and Walther really hasn't found any sort of connector to it yet. He didn't do the laser eye connector in Turtle Rock, so like for Walther right now, he doesn't have a good way of getting into the Dark World, so he's probably got a moment of like, well, I don't really know exactly where I want to go with this.
Hopefully, or maybe he will remember that he still at least has Hookshot Cave, and then he's going to at least be able to claim a couple more items before trying to chase more connectors.
Well, he's going to end up...
Yeah, looks like exactly it.
Oh boy, red mail and the green pendant.
Pendant Thievestown. I was told there could be boots in Pendant Thievestown, but I don't see any new footwear on Fear's tracker. By the way, thank you to our trackers today, Scott and Lady Laura Linda, for doing all of the body clicking behind the scenes and keeping us honest.
And also big shout outs to Trez there for kind of working on the tracker a little bit, giving us a couple more items on the thing for our trackers to clear, to click there. So you know, we're trying to keep the trackers busy because you know they've got to tell us exactly where actually everything is. So yeah, big shout outs to both of them there helping us out today.
Oh yeah, and especially actually, right. So I think a recent change was actually we added they added back in the mail upgrade. You know, it's kind of obvious, at least to see red mail that Fear got from Blind, but you know, at least for like from Walter's sprite, it's not like immediately obvious that he has blue mail, right?
Yeah, no, you kind of got to look at it a little bit there because you're like, well, he's got a blue hat. Is that normal?
That's right. Yeah, so speaking of red mail, though, you know, red mail is great. I don't think Fear is in any danger of dying anytime soon. But of course, we're still looking for that mirror, right? You know, one of the best mobility options that Crosskeys runners have, especially early on, is we want to be able to death warp out, and red mail can delay that process quite significantly.
Yeah, you're gonna... One of the worst things that could happen right now is you get yourself deep into a dungeon and then you're trying to find a good way to get out of it and you got a red mail and you're trying to decide, okay, so if I can either take like a 30-second death warp or how long would it take me to get back here if I save and quit? I mean, it's no good options there as Fear goes ahead and he digs up a whole 20 rupees there after quite a long lot of digging. I've got to ask him about this MSU pack, by the way. This MSU pack is pretty amazing.
Really chill. No, Fear, Days, don't look on Walter's screen.
Yeah, he messed it up. It's all good. Like I told you, it's the most finicky dang trick. Like you're like, I did it perfectly, haha, and then you jump in the water, and the game's like, no, you didn't. You were a split second too late. So let's go get some Maria off of Stumpy instead, because that's the better thing we should do.
Yeah, so that is definitely, well, okay, no, Walter has the pearl now, but that was definitely going to be something that Walter could not do if he didn't have that pearl. Amazing what a couple bushes could stop a buddy right in his tracks. So Fear also has 1,100 rupees to his name. Zora is still, by the way, not in Logic. We don't have flippers, and we don't have a glove.
and we have now found a connector on Fear immediately deciding that, yes, I want to go into this connector. Is this the one that's going to give me my hammer?
It is! Oh, wow. And he even found the good end of that connector too. It's just you have to, all you have to do is drop down. Of course, he has to go back. But this is the bad end of the connector.
Yeah, he's got a little bit of walking to do, but at the same time, he's probably there might be a bit of a strut to this walk at this point. You just found the hammer here. You're walking back.
That is true.
I mean, the full arms are swinging. You got a smile on your face. Everything's going well right about now for Fear there.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Fear actually must feel, actually pretty good about, at least so far, how he's played the seed, right? He ended up diving Eastern Palace pretty early, which, Walter may or may not have done from his perspective. Got a pearl out of it, and now he found, information from that hammer, and now he just managed to find that connector. The one connector that leads there, right? Not to mention, the potion glitch early in pod got him, like, another sword and a bow, right? I mean, I think things are going exceedingly well on your side, from his perspective. Even well enough that he doesn't even need that beat to help him.
The amount of disrespect paid towards my bee friends right now is gross.
I was gonna say, I don't think Fear has even stumbled across Mothula yet. I hope he's gonna be okay in that fight.
Yeah, I mean, you never know when a bee friend will save your butt there. I mean,
you're right.
Like, how else are you gonna look cool on stream and act like you know what you're doing?
I mean, we all thought it was like the most brilliant decision that you had.
Anyway.
Yeah, so speaking of, so Fear found his way back over to South Death Mountain. Still looking for a mirror, looks like. Of course, ideally, the case would be not only can we death warp, with the mirror, at least mirror out faster, we would like to do as can be as most efficient as we can, right? Be able to combine Light World and Dark World doing our explorations.
Yeah, no, Fear is making his way through here, and he's getting basically the entire overworld of Dark World checked. I mean, this is really efficient on his point. He's cleared out. Unfortunately, he did clear out what turned out to be a green pendant, which, on that, you just gotta go, well, I tried. Deciding not to check the pyramid, though, I'm a little surprised on that he didn't go up and at least check just the single item there. But instead, he'll find Sajarala, get the compass for completing Thieves Town.
Perfect, because getting that green pendant compass, and I think it was like the red mail, is exactly what Fear wanted out of Thieves Town. We find ourselves another pod key.
And the Desert Palace small.
Yeah,
so
that's actually a pretty good one. So now we don't have to, find the back of Desert, save some potentially that key, etc., etc.
Yeah, speaking of Desert, we haven't found Desert today, right? There's 3 entrances to Desert, and we haven't seen a single one yet.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. Because so of course Turtle Rock is a very popular connector, a dungeon connector, as well as Desert Palace, and the fact that we haven't really seen all that much of Turtle Rock either.
Yeah, no, true. We've only seen the 2 there, and one of them was because Fear basically jumped through the wall. Now, kind of cool thing for Fear, though, he was able to go ahead and go through and find Mimic Cave, actually with the hammer in hand, which is incredibly rare in Crosskeys.
That is really nice. And especially, we don't really have mobility items kind of get us back over here super easily. If he doesn't have to come back here ever again, that would be pretty happy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And I was actually speculating. So you mentioned, Days, that maybe Fear doesn't want to go to the pyramid. So I was wondering, maybe he wants to do the pod area first because he's already been over here in the Eastern Palace area in the Light World. So if he finds a mirror, he can maybe combine that, later and just do Light and at least Upper Hyrule Castle because I think he hasn't been up there yet.
That's a good point.
Yeah. Or maybe, because I think it was only Walter who went up there.
I think they both did. I'm pretty sure they both have been in the Eastern Palace area. So what I'm thinking here is Fear might be deciding that he's already got that connector to Dark Sank. So if he wants to get back and go from Dark Sank across to and then Kern jump across to get to Catfish, he can do that probably fairly easy, as that is an absolutely awful place
Wow.
for GT.
Yeah, no flute. No super convenient connector that we've seen so far. No mirror. No boots. This GT's pretty buried.
Yeah, and so here's the trick for Fear. Walther has hookshot, Fear does not. So
Oh right.
Fear is going to be needing to do some very tricky bomb jumps to get everything that Walther will just be able to walk in and grab.
Yeah, not to mention that Fear doesn't even have boots, so he can't even kind of like bonk his way over the first couple of bomb jumps. He's gonna have to actually do like the full fledged of bomb jumps in order to get to the left side.
Yeah, and that's kind of the thing here. It's like he's gonna have to do this, and the problem is like, so like this is actually one time where red mails might actually help him, because he's not gonna really take hardly any damage from those bombs. So he'll just be able to go and just kind of pick up everything that he needs and not really have any problems there. As Walther, you need to actually take the guy and not just walk out, Walther. Come on now. What are you doing?
He's like, I'm determined to death warp out, dang it.
Interesting. Fear not even deciding not to even go for this. Oh, he's going to be so mad in about 10 seconds. He decided not to go for it. And he is going to find hookshot in approximately...
Yeah, the seconds are cutting down, unfortunately.
Yeah, like 20 seconds he's going to find hookshot. This is going to be one time where we're going to be very glad that he's not mic'd up, because he's going to say some words.
I was literally just there at the location that I could use the hookshot for.
And in 3, 2, 1... Sorry, buddy. Crosskeys, man. That's it right there.
It is so typical Crosskeys to find the item that you want to see like 10 seconds or whatever, right? Immediately after in the location you wanted it for. Alright, so meanwhile the Walther finding his Thieves Town. Or he's gonna at least do the front floor. He probably do the back as well. Because he has the big key, right?
Yeah, they both have the big key. The big key. Oh, the big key was in. Oh no, he doesn't have. Maybe he doesn't have the big key, because the big key was in like the Pyramid Ferry area. Oh no, he has a big key. Okay, right. And so yeah, he picked that up immediately, because yeah, that was right next to Sank. So I was about to say, I was like, wait a minute. So, yeah, this is always a decision. Do you want to go ahead and take the time to go back and clear all of Thieves Town? You're probably going to do it, just because you're like, ooh, I can beat this dungeon. Thing is it's not in logic without the Thieves Town small key. So there is an argument to be made for not necessarily doing it, especially if you wanted to take that map and go and check really quick. And it looks like Walter's not going to do it here. So this might save him, because there was nothing back there.
Yeah, this actually could be very, very interesting, and potentially good for Walther if he, like you said, never ends up coming back to Thieves Town. And he does have the knowledge that he did walk across Bumper Ledge, so he does see in this case where the hammer is. So he might be also like, you know what, I can always come back here. Maybe I can find that hammer and Thieves Town small key later on.
Yeah, so instead over here on Fear's side, we're going to go into Tower of Hera. We've got that big key, so this is going to give us basically the 3 items that are upstairs and whatever dungeon prize we get. Now, probably a crystal, but we don't actually know for sure.
Yeah, and of course, alright, so we're going to see how good Fear's setup is with the bootsless Hera pots.
Yep, went too far, and now he's messed it. He's got another 1 shot at it, maybe. One more shot.
Another benefit of red mail. He doesn't have to take any damage. You know, the bottleneck is going to be a number of bombs. But looks like after some buffering, he looks like he got up the tower just fine.
Picks up that fairy.
Pot, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, he picks up that fairy just in case Mothula knocks him off 20 times. And
Moldor?
Yeah, him.
Okay. I mean, you know, Fear already let go of his bee, so I mean, he's gonna be pretty powerless against Mothula too. Hello, fire source.
Okay, now the game got interesting. Now if we find Mothula, we can go and kill him. And we already know where he is, too, so good job there.
Yeah, that's actually... I guess I can't remember if Fear had seen where the back of Skull Woods is, but yeah, but he's already done the front of Skull Woods, right? So presumably he has a small key to his name?
Yeah, he'll have a small key, and he's not been up there yet, because he hasn't been up on Death Mountain. So once he gets up there, he's going to be able to just kill Mothula in his first go. Now, again, logically, you're supposed to have 3 Skullwood small keys, but, you know, details.
Details. Oh no! Well, okay, the fire rod still makes Hera all the like every much worth it. Like you're always gonna kill Moldnorm once you're up here, but man, it would be nice in order to get a crystal at some point,
Yeah, you're both not happy that was a pendant. At the same time, you don't really care because you did get the fire rod, so you're like, yeah, okay, fine.
And of course, the more pendants that we get now, it just means that the more crystals there are for us to get later.
Exactly. Very true, very true. As Walther is about to get his hammer, as he's picked the right connector to go through, so well done there, buddy. And welcome into everybody from ZeldaSpeedRuns. You're joining us here for a basically kind of an elimination match here. This is week 6 of Swiss rounds here between Walther IV and FEARagent. In the Crosskeys tournament for 2021 here. And right now, basically both runners are kind of just running around trying to find stuff, which is the name of the game.
Yeah, and certainly at this point, no runner really has, I would say, like a very clear advantage over the other. Fear does have a couple of pendant dungeons cleared to his name, but not really much in terms of like extra progression.
Yeah, Fear's biggest advantage right now is probably going to be that fire rod. That fire rod is not a small thing. Now, when he chooses, he can go ahead and take that Misery Mire big key, go directly into Kakariko there, and clear out all of Misery Mire, because he now has
he has the cane. Yeah,
he has the cane. He has everything he could possibly want. He can go ahead and full clear that dungeon, and I kind of suspect that might be where he's headed right now.
So, as a quality of life improvement, it would be great, of course, logically required that we would get that lamp so we can at least see what's going on in the basement. But looking at Fear's equipment, he's got red mail, he's got, 7 hearts. Looks like he's got a couple of, he's got the red cane and the blue cane and a cape, but I think hopefully he should be fine. Yeah. Of course, Fear has quite the set of options to him. Looks like, though, he is going to spend some of his hard pickup rupees in order to just give himself that extra safety. Oh, we have 2 bottles today. That's right. Oh, that's right, because he got another one with a B, and he let go of it very swiftly. Alright, meanwhile though, Walter picked up his hammer, and he is going to kind of continue on retracing the Fear's footsteps over here to the Dark World. So presumably he's going to take this hammer, and then I guess we're going to see if he decides to at least go visit the pyramid, or kind of go over to the pod area that we saw Fear did a little bit early. And we know also from Fear's side that GT is where pod is. Alright, so it looks like no pyramid visit, at least for the time being. So when Fear, in this case, when Walter gets over to GT, with that hookshot, he's going to be able to clear out, and the hammer, he's going to be able to clear out a lot of the left side.
And Walter just got the information that the green pendant there is in Thieves Town, so he might not have any good reason to go to Thieves Town for quite a long time. He picks up his keys, but when he does find GT, he's going to be, like you said, he'll be able to clear the whole left side. Now, Fear with that fire rod, though, when he goes back to GT, we'll be able to clear the entire basement. So things are swinging back and forth wildly right now.
Yeah, but it's actually kind of an interesting question for when Fear, I guess, decides to go back to GT, because as you said earlier, Days, like he has a lot of options open to him right now. Right, he's got probably back in Skull Woods. He's got all of like Death Mountain eventually. He also has like 3 or 4 pod smalls at this point, so he can also go back to pod.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
that's the key thing with Crosskeys. At some point, you have every option in the world available to you, and you have to decide which one of these is the right one. And that's not easy to
Yeah.
do.
Oh yeah. it's almost as if the decisions that you make could affect how well you do in this race. All right, so here probably picks up a mushroom on the Firelock side of Fire.
Mm.
Interesting. We I don't think we found the potion shop yet.
No, we haven't seen the potion shop yet. So we're gonna have to find a way to go over there and turn that thing in. Yeah, without any flippers, probably gonna have to take another fake flipper through the that kind of whirlpool that a lot of people start with. But man, yeah, we're gonna. You don't necessarily want to walk around the whole day with that mushroom in your hand, but there is an argument to be made that if you do you remember where Magic Bat was today?
Oh,
Did we
man.
see it?
I
Was it, or was it behind Ganon? Did we see it?
I don't remember us seeing Magic Bat, because so I thought we saw all of the other ones. I wanted to say it was behind Agatu, because yeah,
Okay.
that would definitely be something else that we could do. We could potentially do if Magic Bat was available to us as fake powder.
Yeah, I unfortunately didn't look here as we get the GT Big Key out of the Meyer Big Chest right now. So, kind of a big find here that might actually unlock our Magic Bat there if he's like hiding behind Agatu today, which probably hope he's not.
So Meyer Big Key I thought was in Hookshot Cave. So did Walter go to Meyer first before Hookshot Cave? Was that sequence?
Yeah,
Oh,
he did.
I see.
It's
Yeah.
just it is Crosskeys in a nutshell. You do things in slightly a wrong order, you can end up with a completely different seed from your opponent. Like that's one of the craziest things about this mode is just like the variance in it can be so high. And trying to read the logic can be really tough, but if you find a glove, you can get back here to GT much easier than Fear can. So that's okay, things are starting to open up. And flippers. Another key to
amazing.
Here
is this is Stalfos room, but this basically actually puts like all of the swimming and like it actually puts Zora for finally into logic. Because I was even thinking like we're like an hour in and we still don't even have any type of Zora logical access, like no glove, no flippers, nothing, and they would just happen to sit there in Stalfos basement.
Yeah, no, that was super good there for Walther. Now for Fear, he's got to sit there and decide to do that as Walther throws that boomerang in a very long pattern.
Yeah.
Get it there.
He did recently pick up the blue one, right? I don't know if what he's more comfortable with, but of course the red one always, it looks sparklier.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, personally, I'm a red boomerang guy myself, but hey, everybody's got their own tastes, and other people can be wrong, so it's all good.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, so we're still making our way back to Vitreous over here on FEARagent's side, and Walther is about to show us what's locked behind 4 GT keys right now. Now he's got 3 of them, so this is out of logic, but not a ton. So we get a butter sword, which is fantastic, and yeah, that's it. But I mean, the butter sword, you're gonna take that every day, because if you take a butter sword into Vitreous, which is what Fear is doing right now, Vitreous does not last very long.
Oh yeah, and especially actually the fact that they don't really have kind of like boots to kind of like be able to do some like poke dashing, for example, or to make their movements a little bit more fluid. Having that the butter sword is actually more. It's nicer than you might think it is. Right? That was actually a really nice bomb damage boost over on Walter's side to kind of avoid that.
Fear, go pull Ted here.
Fear.
Go pull.
All right, okay, all right, yes, Fear. You know what? You've got Lost Woods access. We don't need to know. Actually, we don't need to read anything on the pedestal. Just go back and do it.
Yeah, I mean, just do it immediately. There's no reason not to do it right now. I mean, that's just go pull your pod big key off a ped. Go do it. Yeah. It's there. It's there. You're doing this, and you're gonna miss your big key now, Fear. Come on now. What are you doing?
Yeah, and coming back to Pod here, nope, no biggie. He's got everything else though. He's got, he's got a bow. He's got bow that you found in Pod earlier. He's got the hammer. He just needs that big key in order to finish off the run. And of course, by process of elimination. Why do we need maps these days? We just have to beat all the pendants to figure out what your crystals are.
Wow, and there's the final GT big key sitting there in behind Ice Armo. So now all of GT is in logic. The climb, everything is in logic right now.
So Walter found a small key to GT in Stalfo's room, and then he found the other GT key in behind Ice Armos. And Walter, he's like, when do I get to open this middle door? Because I have all the GT keys. It's gonna be today.
I mean, I was like the moment I saw what he was doing, I was just like, wait a minute, he's that he can actually do that thing, because like it's one of the rules of Duid Key Sanity is you never open that middle door, never open that middle door unless you have everything, and yeah, he pulled everything out of here, so he's completely fine. He's only going to be able to get this one thing because he still doesn't have a fire source, but yeah, we'll see.
For better or for worse, he doesn't have a fire source, because he also doesn't have a GT big key. If he did have a fire source and he, made it all the way over to Compass Room, if something was in GT big chest, right, it's going to be one of those occasions that Walter's just going to have a really hard time getting back to.
Yeah, and now the interesting thing is like if I'm Fear at this point, if I come all the way back to GT with everything like that, and I find 2 GT big keys in this, and I don't get anything out of the compass room over there on the right side, I'm gonna climb. I'm just gonna do it at that point.
I was actually wondering about that, because Fear has basically everything that he, could want, right, basically for the upper, for the climb. He's even getting a butter sword for it too.
Yeah, I mean, it's in a terrible location. You're never going to go back otherwise. So clear the entire thing. Just sink the time in there. And if it's wrong and it was all bait, then you just shrug your shoulders and go, all right, game, you suck. I don't like you anymore. I mean, it's just kind of what you have to deal with.
And if Magic Bat is behind Aga too, he has that mushroom that he could use. He's got a fire rod to spam and to get rid of his magic pretty quickly if he wants to.
Yeah, so I kind of expect he might head that way here sooner than later, because we've now checked the pyramid over on Walter's side. It was 50 rupees, and yeah, so we're not going to bother with that. So he walked his way out of the pod area, and now we're going to go north. We're going to... I guess, with that glove, he's going to be able to go all the way to Catfish, and he can clear everything that's in this area really easily.
Is Fear doing what we're hoping that he's doing, Dazed?
Fear's doing the thing. He's doing the thing.
Alright, so Fear having all 3 pendants to his name and 0 crystals. We are going to get to see what is on this pedestal today.
Alright, so go ahead, get your excitement, your hype, all of that stuff, get that going here, because Fear is about to pull the Master 20 rupees. Let's find out.
Oh my gosh!
Oh, I was almost so close. I was so close. So
wow.
close.
So, yes, that's so close that Master 20 rupees. I think that Eastern Big Key is worth more than 20 rupees this day.
I did say a pod big key first, actually, okay? I did say a pod big key first, so I was so close to getting that right.
That is very true. Wow. Okay, so it's very important at this point for Walter to go back to Thieves Town, in addition to all the other pendant dungeons, because since we've seen all 3 pendants cleared out on Fear's side, that Eastern Big Key is pretty dang important.
A little bit, and it turns out so Magic Bat was in Lost Woods this entire time, which means that the behind Aga 2 right now is here on Magic Bat. Oh my gosh,
holy cow. So this mirror is incredibly interesting. We have not seen powder anywhere, so that mirror is technically out of logic. Actually, is it possible that we don't need the mirror today? I guess I'm not sure, but it's certainly a bit of caution for Fear to kind of try and chase mirror lock locations.
Yeah, you when you get your mirror lock locations at this point, you look at them really fast, and then you decide that maybe I don't necessarily want to do this yet. Like, yeah, you put that on its own little like kind of like pedestal right there, and just kind of do whatever this. At some point, wait, Walther got the mitts.
When did he get them? Yes, I'm actually just noticing this on the tracker.
I did not see him get the mitts. I do not know how he got that. I'm very curious. But yeah, Walther got the mitts at some point and is now up on Dark Death Mountain, going through the Quarreling Brothers' house into the Mire area. So, yeah, I'm like, he's probably gonna need that mirror at some point, because this just gives him a lot of access to this here.
Oh my god.
Oh, the logic in this.
Oh my god, dude.
Oh, the logic in this is
I know, this is amazing. So it's always somewhat frustrating to see vanilla bow at Eastern Palace, but holy cow, that is our logically accessible bow, because we know the other bow was bow locked in pod.
I mean, to be completely honest, I kind of suspected something when the first 3 things that we got in this game were pendants, right? We got all 3 pendants, which is funny to me because it's like one of the pendants is still out of logic because we don't have the Thieves Town small key yet.
Yeah. not to mention we're still missing a lamp, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just details, of course, but yeah, like there are things that we need to still find logically.
Yeah, no, there's a whole list of stuff that's not really making sense right now, but we're gonna figure it out eventually, I suppose. Kinda, maybe, sure.
Yeah, at least we have 2 runners to try and help us out, to try and piece together more items. But, you know, Fear, I think at this point just must be feeling amazing, right? Like, he maybe didn't feel great about clearing 3 dungeons in a row, and all 3 of them early on were all pendants, but when he pulled that pedestal, he must have felt amazing.
I mean, it's not even that. It's like, so Fear has found out that we do have a ped seed right now, okay? So, and he cleared all 3 pendants, so he's feeling probably pretty good about everything. And then on top of that, he pulls out a mushroom that I want to say, I can't even really remember where he found it.
It was in Fire Locked, Vanilla Big Key Chest.
Right, so it's behind 3 keys in Misery Mire. It's behind Powder as well, and he just pulled out a mirror out of just thin air, pretty much.
Literally.
And so now Walther has gone ahead. He's now found one of our last remaining dungeons. Now the only dungeon that we're missing at the moment is we're missing Swamp Palace. We have every other dungeon right now. At this point, it's just find the big keys.
Yeah, speaking of another big key, right? So Walter just found the backup desert. We're gonna definitely need that Desert Palace big key. And yeah, we're still gonna definitely need Swamp. We do have the Swamp small key, and of course on Walter's side we did see him pick up the Clippers, so... I mean, I think if Walter finds Swamp, I think he's just going in, 100%.
Yeah, no, I mean, at this point, you can clear Swamp. Like, you'll leave the big chest, but I mean,
yeah, that always happens.
Yeah, I mean, that's just normal at this point. If you go in and you're able to actually get the big chest the first time in, you're kind of almost confused, because that does not happen in this game. But, so Walter's going to go through Pod right now. He's going to clear as... Interesting to see how much he decides to clear, because 4 keys means if you open the front door, you're either going to be leaving, well, in Walther's case, you're either going to be leaving Harmless Hellway, or you're going to be leaving Helmasaur for later. So you've got some guessing to do.
Yeah, I'm trying to actually remember how much of Pod Fear actually cleared. Because I know he did the basement, Dark Basement. I know he did the Dark Maze, but I can't remember if he ended up doing Vanilla Big Key Chest or like Harmless Hellway.
Yeah, it's hard to say exactly. So Fear's is already gonna start pushing this mirror advantage right now, but like we kind of mentioned, the mirror is buried in the logic right now. So if he finds something, it's probably best for him not to chase it too hard.
Yeah, but of course, you know, at the same time, like the mirror, let's just say maybe leads to not required, but really nice to have, let's say like boots or something, right? You know, he just needs to be careful about, right, how many things that he's going to, you know, chase or use after the mirror.
Yeah, just don't over clear at the moment here. And
Right.
well, if I'm Fear at this point, I'm not 100% sure. Like, if we get back to GT, I don't 100% know if I'm going to climb at this point. Like, things have changed a little bit in his calculations, possibly. But man, it's really hard to decide. This is the fun of Crosskeys, as
Oh yeah. Yeah, right. So so we had the hammer on Fear's side. We have the hook shot. We're still missing some, but but Fear like did pick up the fire rod, right? So he's gonna get at least a couple more entrances. But yeah, we did see Walter pick up the flippers and a club out of GT, and a mid somewhere else along the way. So like, it seems like those are required so far.
Yeah, I mean, I can't see any way that any of that's not. So
Right. So Fear has to eventually make his way over there, but I'm not sure like how much he's going to be able to get locked out, right? Like before he gets back.
Yeah, no, that's true. I mean, like, so, I mean, one of these things, like, we always kind of, like, people always joke about ped seeds. A ped seed in Crosskeys is actually not bad, because, like, one of the hardest things that you're typically clearing everything anyway, right? But, like, in this case, what you're going to end up doing a lot of the time is you're going to, now you know that I just need to clear as dungeons as quickly as possible. There's really no other way around it. Just clear and clear and clear and clear. Now, Walther deciding he just save scummed the entirety of Pod.
Interesting. Okay. So we didn't actually find anything in Pod, right?
No, there was nothing in Pod. It's utter garbage.
Not often you actually get to see that, especially since Pod is. I mean, it's not like super inaccessible, but you don't often get to see basically saves coming like the entire key set, or having the opportunity to do so.
Yeah, no, that's a bit of a surprise here. Now, Walther, unfortunately, is out of bombs.
Oh no! But a heads up to him though for remembering that there is a 50-50 rock here that he can pull. But unfortunately, he's not getting very good luck.
This is when you just kind of casually mentioned that the house with all of the bushes in front of it in Kakariko has a shop in it right now.
I was gonna say. So, what was the tree pulls? Because I thought we got bombs pretty early too.
Tree pull is bombs, so Walter's just gonna reset it really fast, and then he's gonna go and get some bombs there, so he won't have to spend any money. Now, Fear is about to jump into Skull Woods here, and I imagine he's just immediately going to be like, yep, finishing this.
And the fact that he also has a mirror means that he's going to be able to kill Mothula and then get that bridge chest, right? Very, very easily.
Yeah, just 2 seconds in, take it, no problems, everything's good. And then that'll be that.
Okay, so of course, Fear only on Temper Sword, fighting Mothula, but I'm sure he is more than up to the task at this point.
I don't know, he doesn't have a B.
You're absolutely right. We should berate him, and he deserves to die a painful death.
Well, let's find out exactly. I mean, he's got red mail. Pretty much the only way that he's dying in this fight is if he just runs face first into the spikes over and over again, which is possible, not likely.
Wow, okay. Mothula actually played pretty nice today.
Yeah, or Mothula is going to die in 3 seconds. So that's the bosses in this game, everybody. As we're on to crystal number 2, dungeon 5 for FEARagent. Crystal number 2 here at about the hour 19 mark.
Yeah. So okay. So. After this, like, can we take some inventory? So what all do our runners still need in order to finish up the game? So we need Desert Palace Big Key for sure.
Yeah. We need some Turtle Rock small keys on Fear's side. Somehow he managed to get managed to not have a single Turtle Rock small key. Oh, there's interesting. We've got a hype cave over here in the Hammer Pigs area for FEARagent. Not FEARagent, for Walther. Yeah, that's going to get him a bottle.
Hopefully something good.
A bottle.
That is the extent of the goodness of this cave, yes.
Yeah, so we're gonna need desert big and pod big. We have the swamp small actually here on
Yeah, that's
I want to
right.
say we have the swamp small on both sides. Oh no, wait, no, he's about to pick it
Nope,
up. There,
nope, he's
Fear's
gonna pick
picking
it
up
up
now.
right here. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
And I think also Desert Palace Small was up here, if I recall correctly, for
The
FEARagent.
Desert Palace Small was in Sajarala, so we
Oh,
have
that's
that on
right. Yeah,
both
yeah, that's
sides.
right.
Yeah. So we need the Desert Palace big and the pod big, and then other than that, we are good to go pretty much. So yeah, at this point, kind of like the other thing that we're looking for is Swamp Palace. We don't know
You're
where it
right.
is yet.
We have not actually found that entrance yet. Of course, the good thing for both runners is that they did find the dam. That is certainly a prerequisite to be able to beat Swamp Palace. In this case, once they find Swamp, they're just going to go right in. Unfortunately, Fear missing that bomb jump. It looks like maybe he was a little too high.
Okay, no, but interestingly enough here, oh, I'm pretty sure Walter just lost his old. Yep, he lost his frog.
Wait, sorry, I didn't even see. Where did he come out? Where did he go?
Okay, so he went through the kind of the number, like the grandma connector, right? So he goes through the grandma connector, goes down to the dark shopping mall area there. He walks into a dark cave, immediately realizes that it's the old man rescue front, and comes out and sees that his frog has now disappeared.
That is sad.
Well, what's even worse, though, is that he walked back out, immediately found Super Bunny Cave, which is a connector, which is a one-way connector. So he couldn't even go back to Old Man. He had to decide between, do I go in to rescue the Old Man now, or do I go and do Super Bunny? He chose Super Bunny. He got himself a grand total of a small Misery Mire key and getting locked out on right side Desert Palace.
Yeah, and that connector, of course, like the good news is he doesn't have to go back, right, to Desert. I think he was already over in that area beforehand. I think he already checked Akina's cave, right? So he doesn't have any other reason to go back there.
No. I mean, the biggest argument for him right now is that he's supposed to pretty much like that. I'm not 100% sure, but like if he goes back through the Old Man, goes back and rescues the Old Man at this point, that is his logical access, probably both runners' logical access to the top of Death Mountain, which is kind of bad because like he won't be able to go over to the right side. This is just such a weird thing. Fear is going to just say, forget all of the logical access stuff. I'm just going to go through Paradox Cave, go directly up on top of the Death Mountain, and then use my incredibly sequenced broken mirror.
Yeah. And he's going to potentially pick up his incredibly sequenced broken shovel as well, right? Yeah, and Fear probably is just interested in trying to finish up the scene. And kind of limiting his scope of what other thing he's going to check.
Yeah, it's one of those things now. He has to get through all of these cabbages without dying because they don't care that you have red mail. They're going to do 1 heart of damage no matter what.
Yeah, I was actually going to say, so like Fear was over in the Ice Rod Cave area. I think he was over like in trying to get through the mini Moldorms. Like, he looked very carefree trying to get through these, most likely because he was on red mail, and red mail kind of gives you the sense of invisibility.
Yeah, and rightly so most of the time, because you're just like, nothing can touch me, everything's great. And then, well, then
you get to Death Mountain, that's right.
then occasionally things actually hurt. Yeah.
All right. Okay, Walter has gone back and picked up his Smith buddy. It didn't want him to get lost in the dark maze, or in the dark cave with the Old Man.
Well, he's gonna go. So now we're gonna get to see over on FEARagent side here. He's walking through basically the back of the Old Man rescue area, the way that most people actually kind of go through it anymore. And he's gonna go pick him up and go ahead and see exactly what we get from this. Walther is getting thrown a shield and deciding, yeah, no thanks. I'll just save and quit.
But Walter, you haven't killed Blind yet. You might need the fire shield.
Well, I mean...
I guess he doesn't need the fire shield.
I mean, he actually does need to go and kill Blind. That is the thing. I kind of wonder if Walther is just deciding to, like, put this off put this off, because unfortunately all of these pendants that he needs to do, like, he needs to do them quickly, because Fear is just getting more and more time. As he does get his second Turtle Rock small key there from turning in the Smiths.
Yeah, so that is myths locked, which, you know, still on Fear's side at like an hour, almost 30 in, we still have 0 myths and 0 flippers. Actually, 0 any type of upgrades, like no hand upgrades, no foot upgrades.
Yeah, I mean,
Man.
oof. So, I mean, Fear's gonna just decide, you know what, I'm already here. He was smart. He saved the old man, went back into the dark world there, and then jumped down the rest of the mountain, mirrored over, turned in the old man, got pretty much nothing, and went back through basically his mirror portal there, and this gets him into Ice Palace, which is gonna be dungeon number, what, 3? Crystal number 3, 4?
Crystal number 3, yeah, it looks like.
I mean, that's just some quality routing on Fear's side. That's having the forethought to not just run around like a chicken with your head cut off in this game, which is, you know, easy. That's very easy to do. Just kind of charge ahead sometimes and not really think about, like, oh wait, is this something I should be doing?
Yeah, and it looks like, actually, I mean, with that mirror, right? Fear is definitely trying to make the most out of his combined route. So he didn't end up hitting the switch, most likely because he has the big key, I think.
Yeah, he's got the big key and a small key, so he's got no reason to hit the switch right now.
Right.
It doesn't. It's not going to help him at all. If anything, it slows him down a little bit. But he has missed up his thing. Walther finding, though, there in the rock on the way to the desert, there he's finding the back of the laser bridge entrance of Turtle Rock. So this is the good entrance, because this is where all the items are, and this is the one that if you want to go directly to Trinex, you can do it immediately. Unfortunately, we haven't been to Hera, so we don't have the fire rod right now.
Yeah, it's pretty unfortunate for Walter, because, you know, of all rods, right? When you want to try and kill Trinex, you're basically looking for the ice rod, but the ice rod was like, I don't know, like check number 5 or something. Like it was in the well, right? It was something ridiculously early.
Yeah, like the ice rod was just the easiest thing in the entire world today, which, you know, is very good, because you don't want to have an ice rod hunt in Crosskeys. Dear God, that's the worst thing that could possibly happen to you. Hey, this item isn't on Trinex. It's possibly in every other location in the game.
Was there somebody who said in this game that there's like a fire locks fire in Ice Palace? Was that something?
Paging Zelda Dasan. Paging Zelda Dasan. Please pick up the white courtesy phone. And fire locked fire yet again. So use your fire rod to come in here and get bombos off of this, and then Ice Tea Room will of course have the lamp.
I'm ready. Let's see this.
It's not, no way. I got red, right?
I know, yeah, it was red. It does not, unfortunately, consume any magic.
I am sitting here like going, oh man, why is Fear mirroring out? And then I go, oh wait, yeah, right. His glove is sitting in GT that he couldn't get to because he found the hookshot immediately after he...
That's right. Literally, actually, the next check, right? Because he saved me quit out of GT, and then he found the hookshot immediately after.
It's just when the game hates you, the game hates you at times. I mean, that's just what it is. So for Fear, instead of basically probably being nearly done with the seed here, we're sitting here waiting for him to go back to GT over at Pod now. Gosh.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, okay, so we already saw that, of course, you know, because we had to beat Ice Palace, we need those gloves, right? Walter has further confirmed that we need those gloves even more, because Lion's Hut, which had Desert Vicky, is under that 20 rupee farm over at Ice Rock Cave area.
Right, so, like, it's one of those super fun one-off locations there where the glove is just... You weren't able to go over there the first time because you didn't have a glove, so it's just sitting there by itself, and at some point you gotta walk back there now. Things are a bit spread out in this seed, we will say that, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's a good point, right? I mean, we don't have any mobility, really. We have no flute, we have no boots. It's like an hour and a half into the seed already.
Yeah, it's an hour and a half into the seed, and we're all just kind of sitting here going... If you guys want to start running at any point here, nobody's going to mind.
Oh yeah, absolutely yes. In fact, it would be. It would actually be really great if they could just start running from the start. But
Well, let's take a look.
dude.
See, I was wondering
We
wondering
were-
if that was going to happen, honestly.
Yeah, we finally complained enough, Dazed.
See, because it was also just kind of called. You call it a witch if you want. It was also called. There's not that many places that it could be. Like we were almost out of places for Boots to show up because Boots can't be behind Boots because we don't play those type of modes in this mode.
That's right.
Crosskeys.
That's right. And of course, right. Like we are witnessing both sides, right? Like we've seen what Walter and Fear have done. So I mean, from Fear's perspective, there's going to still be a lot of locations for the boost to be. But we know, right, that between the two runners, they've actually checked quite a bit.
Yeah, and for Fear, the biggest problem for him is that he's got to figure out that I need to make my way back to GT. It's a awful thing for him because like I'm looking through all of his possibilities, and right now I'm thinking the only thing that the only easy way, unless something else pops up, is for him to go back through the Turtle Rock connector there that he found all the way back in, ages ago, and then work his way across to get back to GT. Because other than that, there is no connectors, or at least no obvious connectors through to the Dark World for him.
Yeah, and of course, this is another feature of Crosskeys is that to get traditional Dark World access, right, glove and hammer or two gloves. It could come very, very late, especially on Fear side where we only are on one hammer. We're not going to be able to do like the more traditional, like go down and do like the high cave area in order to get the Dark World, and then just run over the pot, right?
Right. Well, now over on Fear side, now he's in the right area. Now he's going to be able to check a couple more things. Now the mirror is slowly getting more into logic as he's found Swamp Palace. Okay.
Is that a required mirror?
That is a required mirror. Oh, it is a required mirror. Now we have knowledge of all three podkeys. You and me have knowledge of all three podkeys. Now both of these guys have two key. Yeah, they both have two Meyer keys themselves. But the thing is, with their two Meyer keys, they both have two. Like one of their Meyer keys is unique to the other one right now. So they've got to put all that together and forget the what are we talking here, the powder and stuff like that. I mean,
forget the powder, which is supposed to be like our logical access to that mirror. We're just gonna fake powder our way through.
Yeah, I mean, and to be fair, I mean, fake powder kind of coming back to bite Walther is gonna be something that I might ask him about if it turns out to be the difference, because I've got to stick up for my bud Will here, who Walther beat in, I want to say, week 2, thanks to one of the craziest fake powder plays I've ever seen. So.
Actually, I have memories of that race. Yeah, that's right. Man. And I think Walter even said afterwards, right? He's like, I think I've used up all my luck for this tournament or something.
And he might be proving that right now. We'll see though. He's now picked up his fire rod, so now he's got access to be able to start clearing out dungeons. Now, probably the biggest thing is that Fear already has picked up the Eastern Palace Big Key off of the pedestal right now. There's a lot left as Walther smacks directly into the bumper.
Okay, so Bright Side Desert has our other glove. I think Fear is going to be very, very happy seeing that. He still has to go back to GT because flippers are hard required. In this case, we have to beat Swamp, so you can't, fake clipper or whatever, like his way through.
Oh yeah, we're not gonna play with the full silly overworld glitches and other crazy stuff here. We're not gonna play with that, as Fear might have wanted to mirror on top of Floating Island there.
Is this our first time over here? Do we know what the item is?
We haven't seen the light world side of this area yet. No.
Oh, okay.
So. And we're not going to, it looks like. So, because Fear is going to chase this thing. This is going to put him into the mire area here. He'll be able to see exactly what is going to be the mire entrance, because he's got Bombos, and Walther did not when he came over here the first time.
Oh yeah, no, that's definitely a good point, because Bombos, as apparently widely predicted in Crosskeys, is locked behind that fire rod.
Now, to be completely honest, I can't think of anything that's going to be super interesting being over here. Like, looking through my list of things that are left right now, like, we've checked all of the big item caves, all of the big 5 item caves, all of the 2 item caves are gone. We've got a couple of, like, single locations left, but, I mean, to be completely honest, we're, you know, nothing too great. I mean, here we've got the front of Turtle Rock, so we'll be able to get the first 3 entrances here really quick. And that'll be that.
At some point, you would think that these logically required items would have to show up at some point, right? You know, like a powder or like a lamp.
Oh, Clear Mouse, you know better than that. Come on.
I mean, that is very true, but, you know, I can still hope.
Tease the seed.
Yeah.
Alright, the seed can hear you. Don't tease the seed.
You're right. You're right. You're right.
I mean, how many of these have we done together? Come on.
Yeah, you're right. I should absolutely know better at this point.
All right. Well, so we got Walther gonna go ahead and take his butter sword to Trinex and show you exactly how fast Trinex dies when you have a butter sword. Well,
nothing in the front of Turtle Rock, unfortunately. Okay, I was gonna say, like, I didn't think Fear was gonna keep going, or I didn't know why, but he does want that full magic refill. I'm sure that he really wants to be able to save that last Turtle Rock small key, just so he can go through Jarnex. Walther, though, is making progress. He has also claimed his next crystal. And the fact that he did, so he picked up Desert Big. That is definitely a very viable option for him to go next. Is this?
Ah.
That was I shouldn't have said anything.
Well, it's just
whenever you see a big key, you're like, man, I hope that's the big key. It's never the big key that you want.
No, it's not. It's not the one that you're interested in. You're like, don't. Yeah. It's just sitting there, and you're gonna get really excited to see it, and then it's never the one you want.
Yeah.
Crosskeys 101. You're looking for your last big key for go mode here. You're gonna find the swamp big key. You're gonna find the ice big key. You're gonna find the Skullwoods big key. You're gonna find the GT big key, and then maybe the game will let you find your last big key.
Yeah. I mean, it always just seems like you're hunting for Mire big, Pod big, Desert big, Eastern big. It's never the one that you want.
Yep.
So it looks like no, just Fortune Teller over in the Mire lock location, so we're not going to care about this.
Alright, now, so Walther, what are you going to do next, bud? You've got to get yourself to Thieves Town, you got to get yourself to Mire. Looks like Mire is the next thing here. So at some point, I think when Walther picks up this next pendant, a light might go on over his head like, no, game, Are you really going to do that? And we might see him start making moves.
Now, Walter does have Desert back open after he found that Desert Palace big key, so I can certainly see him going back there and killing Landmo. You know, he has the bow. He has he has the fire rod. He's got gold sword. Should be relatively fast. But yeah, he really needs to make his way back over to Thieves Town.
Yeah, because here's the thing, like, Fear is quickly making his way through the rest of this here. Like, after this, he'll be able to, he's gonna basically, just like, what is it, like, 2 chests left in Ice Palace that he needs to get. He's got the one that's on Cold Stare, and then the one that is behind the one, what's it called, Bill Rock. And so, he'll make his way over to that, and so at that point, he's looking for basically the Desert Palace big key. He's looking for the and he's going to be looking for the Desert Palace entrance. So like he'll also need the pod big key. So like Fear is like 3 items away. Now Walther is, I'm not going to say in a good situation, but like the thing for Walther right now is he needs to find powder, or he's gonna have to fake powder this mushroom. I mean, like this is oh man, this is such a decision time here.
Yeah, and you know, and part of I think maybe like the motivation for Fear after he picked up his third pendant, which I can't remember if it was Meyer or Hera, right? But he had all three, right? He just picked up the mushroom, so he had actually motivation to go blind pull pen and then immediately check magic bat afterwards, right? Walter, on the other hand, like he doesn't have the third pendant, he doesn't have the mirror. Like, he doesn't have a lot of incentive, right, to just kind of go over to Lost Woods area again just to try and pick powder with this mushroom.
Yeah, no, if he had completed Thieves Town first, then you complete Meyer, you get your fourth pendant, and you go, I'm in the area, fine. Let me do it right now. I'm going to take care of this, that'll be that, everything's good, no problems, no questions asked. Great. But now, things have changed, as always, so... This is where we're kind of at right now, trying to figure out exactly what should we do next.
Yeah, and just by this GT Big Key pickup, you know, maybe Walter is also thinking about going back to GT.
see, what I'm kind of wondering now is that GT Big Key being in a pendant dungeon like this makes me kind of wonder if it's either over on the right side of GT that we're going to find the Thieves Town Small, or it's going to be up at the very top of the tower. Because that Thieves Town Small is something that we need to put everything into logic here, which is, I mean, again, we don't really care about it. Yes, I know. But, I mean, at the same time, I'm really curious where that stupid Thieves Town Small key is.
Yeah, and you know, these runners certainly may not care about where it is. However, the game, though, does recognize that at least it needs to give you something. So all of this chasing around or like leading you on could actually just be, in this case, oh, you're supposed to in this case go this way because, you know, the Thieves Town Small key is here.
Yeah, or it's something like the powder is at the very top of the thing, and that's something that maybe Fear will never ever have to do because, you know, he'll pull the pod big key out of the right side of GT. But I mean, to be honest right now, I don't see any way that Fear doesn't climb this tower once he gets in here. I really don't see any way he doesn't do it.
Yeah, I mean, so this is by far his most, like, item-dense location, right? And he doesn't have flippers, so he couldn't even, like, he basically got locked out of Swamp, right? Otherwise, I'm sure that would have been, like, you know, most likely his next destination. But he's got everything else now. You know, he's got the two, apparently, out in the wild GT Small keys, because the other two are here in GT itself. So he's going to be able to pick up his flippers and mitts relatively soon.
Yep, the flippers and mitts are going to show up in this very next room here, along with his third GT key, which at some point should probably start sending off alarm bells in Fear's mind pretty quickly, like, oh god, this game's got me doing something stupid, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And gonna take Ether because Stalfos sucks, so let's kill them as quickly as possible.
We did see how much trouble Stalfos gave here in Thieves Town, so very understandable from his side.
This is just a PSA for Walther when he's watching this. You have a cape, sir. You have a cape. These things die very quickly if you have a cape and gold sword. Perhaps next time you play, try cape and gold sword. He has no magic. Oh, it's covered up. Never mind. Walther, good luck, buddy.
He is at least shooting some arrows from the side. Unfortunately, the lightning can actually deflect some of the arrows. He does have blue mail, which I think he is still safe, but these eyeballs will definitely kill him, because I think those were 3 hearts. Yeah. Luckily, though, all on, you know, Walter has just enough arrows, even an extra one for the wall, to know to take down Vitreous, to claim his very requisite pendant, but he does not know that it's requisite yet.
Yes. It's a very, very important thing that he does not know that he needs to have gotten. But he's probably starting to get a suspicion here. This is what happens when you have your insurance tracker covering up half of Walther's screen, unfortunately. That way I can keep an eye on exactly where to go. It's knowing exactly where everything is supposed to be in this game.
Okay, so Fear, I think, picked up the rest of his offensive care package. He's got his gold sword, so I think he should be all set to go when he eventually goes and fights Ganon.
Yeah, no, I mean, when these guys end up on Ganon, Ganon is just going to be one of the easiest fights in the game.
Oh no, Walter.
At that
Walter.
point.
All right, so this is not Immediately good news for Walter, because, you know, okay, this, from his perspective, is absolutely
really bad.
normal.
This is really bad, actually.
I mean, this is exactly what you expect him to do, right? He has a mushroom, right? And, you know, he can chase this next thing as his logical progression. We know, unfortunately, where that mirror is.
I mean, this makes perfect sense. This is... Wait, he didn't do it. Did he just go... Did he do it and we just didn't see, or did he just walk in through the dark room? I think he just went in through the dark room.
Did he? Oh, oh man. Maybe I just imagined
he turned in the mushroom. He turned in the mushroom.
Yeah.
Okay, I was about to say. I was like, all of a sudden, I was just like, I took my eyes off of Walther for a second there to watch Fear on a couple of times by the Armos Knights, and yeah. All right, so yeah, he turned in the mushroom. So Walther is in he's in what we call the bad shape, and he's in the worst shape because that is where your boots are, bud.
I know, Walter. Oh no, it's these things are just chaining. He doesn't have the mirror either. Oh, I mean, this is all very reasonable. Why would you want to take Spiral Cave, which is a one-way connector? You know, when he's got all of these other options to him available at Dark Dove Mountain. Right?
Oh, he's got the dungeon right here. He can complete this. It's a crystal. Everything's great. Everything's grand for him. But the problem for him is that's where the boots were. But the boots at the moment are not required yet.
They are required for fun. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Required for fun. I will agree 100% with that one. So we're gonna continue our way through this here, as we're gonna throw some blocks over here at the switch, and we're gonna find out. Okay, what is this? What is locked over here? And if it's nothing, are we climbing? Okay, we got a small key. It's a turtle rock, and we're not gonna climb.
Wow. Well, okay, so he just got the flippers, right? So maybe he's willing to go back to Swamp Palace at this point.
I mean, okay, I get that. But I mean, like, my thing here is, that's, like, right now, with that location, you're 100% last locationing that area. You just are. And the other thing is that you're now gambling that it is locked really far behind this. As we just found Pod Big on Land Molus on his side. So Fear is probably walking into 100% dead dungeon right now. So he's gonna get every chest in here, and now if he finds powder in here, that was something we'll know for Walther. But other than that, like, I mean, I guess he probably did need that pod key. I think he burned everything.
I believe you are. Actually, did he?
Not 100% sure at this point. Like, we're into 2 hours here. I'm gonna start forgetting things a lot. And powder cannot be in swamp, right? Powder can't be in swamp because, well, how would you get into it without the mirror? So yeah. Yeah, exactly. You see, like I said, it's been 2 hours. Yeah, your commentary team is getting tired.
So Fear also just picked up the small key to Castle Tower. We had seen Castle Tower pretty early. That also might be another red herring for him to chase later. I mean, so Fear hasn't found the back of the desert, right? So,
no.
Otherwise he would have, I'm sure, beelined it over and it cleared out his next crystal. So yeah, unfortunately, you know, Fear is going to basically full clear Swamp Palace. I would imagine, I would expect him to do left side while he's here.
See, the other thing for Fear is he's not found the back of desert, but he also hasn't found the one rock in the.
Oh, right, he also does have Desert Big, yeah.
Yeah, so he's over there? That's the thing. Like, at some point, he's gonna have to decide that I need to go and check that one location. If he checks that one location, he gets to the Desert Big. So he'll find, at some point, he'll end up finding desert, and then boom, he's done with the game. Everything's done. Everything's happy. The only problem is we don't know how long that's going to take. And at this point, Walther is slowly getting time back a little bit. Because, like, Walther, I think at this point, we can almost guarantee that Walther is going to end up go-moding Swamp Palace.
Oh, yeah. 100%. That's right. Because he already has everything, right? The hard part is for him to go back to right, the hard part is well, one, he needs to beat Thieves Town, get the pendant, and then pull Ped, and then he needs to actually find that powder somewhere, which.
I'm
yeah,
kind of feeling that's at the top of GT. Like I'm kind of feeling like that powder is at the top of GT right now, and I can't think of anywhere else. Yeah, I mean it might not
could
be
a
bad.
good thing, right? I mean, well, that could be a good thing for Walter because he doesn't have right side done, right? So, so if he has a climb plus right side, right, that might convince him to go over there.
All right, so he takes down our good friend Helmasaur right there. We pretty much know that Helmasaur is not going to be anything interesting, as we are now making our. That's going to be crystal. What is that? Crystal 2, 3. Crystal number 3 for Walther. He's still got to go beat Thieves Town right now, and I guess I don't know if he's just waiting right now for the Thieves Town Small to show up as we get the big key to Swamp Palace.
It is vanilla location. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Fear's gonna be like, oh my gosh, that means I can actually full clear Swamp Palace without having to come back. Like the fetch quest here is, and the big key is just right inside this dungeon.
I mean, convenience-wise, you're not going to beat that there. The only way that you're going to get really angry is if you go ahead and try to skip left side there, and then you come back through and it's there, and then you go, oh come on, because then you just added yet another couple.
Oh my, that is not what you want to see on Fear's side.
Well, congratulations, FEARagent. You can now clear every single check in the entire game. Good luck, buddy.
I'm sure that he is so eager to go back and check those tablets that he's, probably been walking around for quite some time. And for those of you who may have noticed that Walter is actually kind of skipping some of the pod chests that were looked like they were closed. Walter actually had gone over to pod earlier, found that there was absolutely nothing in those chests, and then did a reset. So he kept all his keys, so he just went to go and get the things that he hadn't seen yet.
Fear is really struggling with his jump out of the water here on this diver down. Yeah, like this is one thing that can get into your head because you miss it one time, you go, oh come on, and so you do it again, and you do it again, and you do it again, and then you start thinking about all of the little movements you have to do for it, and you just kind of mess it up on accident, more or less, and so. Okay, so
now
we
have the rest of the pod keys.
Yeah, so Fear has now got all 6 pod keys, so he's good to go for pretty much everything else. I'm pretty sure those are all 6 pod keys, or at least we have now seen all 6 pod keys. But man, like this is, yeah, this just keeps going at this point. Okay, so Walter's going to make his way now up to basically he's going to go through the front of Old Man Thing, and at this point I've got to start asking another question, which is completely pointless but interesting. Where the heck is the lamp?
Yeah, that's I was just thinking that we literally haven't seen any rooms lit up so far on either runner's side. The only thing that we could go off of are these sword sparkles.
Yeah. I mean, not that we need it anymore because we do have the fire rod, so yay, good. As a little early on that.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, how did that silver arrow not hit? Because he was literally standing right outside the eye. Okay, so half magic is a nice. Well, okay, it's certainly a very nice luxury, but I mean, at this point, for how decked out Fear is, like, I'm pretty sure he doesn't care at all about this half magic.
Yeah, so like for those of you who've just joined in, like this has been just an absolute wild seed so far here. Like we started off like within the first like maybe 15 minutes of the seed here, sequence breaking into the Bullock side of pod, only to find what we knew at that point was our second bow. That was like one of the first things that happened there, and since then it's just been craziness after craziness after craziness. Now for FEARagent, he's actually doing something really pretty good right now. This is going to take him over to the dark shopping mall area. So if he mirrors really quickly, he'll be right there at Blind's hut, where he'll be able to pick up his Desert Palace big key, which is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, which means if he does that, I think we're gonna see the end of the seed very, very soon on Fear's side.
Okay, now smartly for Fear, he doesn't chase that Super Bunny connector quite yet. Because if he did that, he would have left this thing over here.
Alright, so looks like Fear has made the right decision that we're going to see very shortly. I believe the big key is behind the bombable wall. Meanwhile, though, Walter chasing his next crystal. He remembers where the back of Skull Woods is. You know, he's got Butter Sword. He's got Fire Rod. He hopefully should be okay. Only 5 hearts to his name, 6 hearts to his name, but I think he should be okay.
He looks like he's going to be all right here. Yeah. So let's see how this Butter Sword works on this. Okay, now this is where we're going to have to say that FEARagent did his moth in 3 seconds. Walter took 4.
Oh my gosh, Walter. Slacking off here.
And but either way, it takes him down there. That's going to be crystal number 4 for him. So he's slowly catching up on the old crystals here. He's got full crystal knowledge right now. The biggest thing for him is where is that powder gonna be? Because if he finds powder, everything is great. The problem is that I mean, if it's not in GT, I just don't know where else it could be. It would be in some crazy one-off chest at this point.
So we haven't seen, I guess, the rest of Ice Palace because Fear was in there earlier, but he still has 2 chests left. So that could be another location that Walter at least has open to him, because I don't think he went inside, right?
Well, yeah.
I'm trying to think if powder can actually be there.
I'm not seeing any reason why it couldn't, right off the top of my head, but here's a better way to find out. Walter's just gonna go do it for us.
Exactly. Okay, well, thank you so much, Walter. I mean, we really want a demonstration and to see what else was in Ice Palace, so... And we have the compass to help us out, to count all of the items to make sure he gets everything.
Yeah, I mean, who needs Sesame Street when you got a compass?
That's right.
It'll help you learn to count every single time, and you'll not have to worry about a thing. So Fear just like galaxy braining the exact right location to go to here, and he's basically gonna be in go mode in about the next like 20 seconds.
Yeah, no, if Fear picked up his Desert Big, he hasn't been over here yet, so the fact that he is over here and you found Desert back is really good.
Yeah, this is gonna be the game right here. And Crosskeys has this kind of issue a lot of times where it's like, the game, oh my god, oh wait, no, I'm done.
Yep,
and,
that's right.
and like this is gonna be the game. Walter pretty much doesn't have any real way of getting back to this because, as you can see, getting through the back of Desert Palace does not take a whole lot of time. And the moment that FEARagent picks up this big key here, that's gonna be all she wrote.
Once he gets...
And there is the key to Thieves' Town right there. It was in Ice Palace right there.
It's glove lock. Think about like the double dips, man, for this.
Yeah, don't follow the logic, kids. Logic hurts you, and the landmos go kaboom, and we get the big key to to Pod, which is going to be FEARagent's go mode. So at about 1 hour 58 minutes and say 7 seconds, that is that right there. FEARagent is in go mode. We got 2 dungeons left to finish on his side, but that is not gonna take too long here. One is very close, and the other one is in Kakariko, right next to Ganon. So this is FEARagent's probably got about another, I don't know, say 6 minutes left in this game.
That's right. Yeah, I think we're gonna get a potential high 5 here from our runners.
Yeah.
And I'm just really sad for Walter that he was so close to the booth in Spiral Cave. I mean, you know, it's just like we know, right? Like what he's missing out on, and he's gonna, I think, play this basically 2+ hour boostless seed, and sad.
Yeah, that's too bad. Well. You know, it's just kind of the way it goes sometimes with this. It's just like, especially if it's in Spiral Cave. People don't like doing Spiral Cave.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, for a good reason, right? I mean, it's slow.
Exactly, especially without the boots, right? And it's a one-way connector, right? And you know, especially if there was something that you wanted to do, you know, before the one-way connector that you really couldn't do otherwise. I mean, there was so much reason that Walter didn't want to follow that, which is very understandable.
Yeah, it's just one of them things. You just kind of got, you know, at some point, rando is, it's in the name. It's just utterly random.
That's right.
And it's the amount of skill that you could throw into it won't matter sometimes if you just get kind of brutally unlucky. You know, if you last location things in just the worst possible way, that's just kind of what happens, and there's nothing you can do about it. So Walther picks up the powder there. So
Dude.
Walther...
Wow. Walter's giving us all of this knowledge of actually how to put everything that Fear has done in logic, and Fear, of course, is skipping both the items. Skipped out at these steps as well, and he's gonna skip out of... Oh no, he's gonna get the powder at the very end on Cold Stare. Wow.
I mean, he's not gonna need it, but yeah, he's gonna get it.
Of course not. He's like, oh, that's where my powder is supposed to be.
Wow, just okay. So what's fun is that all of those GT keys that you would have gotten there, the 4 GT keys in this were complete bait. So the climb was complete bait the entire time, and which is just proves the knowledge that I absolutely 100% do not know when you're supposed to climb GT. I would have sworn something's out there, and I would have lost like 3-4 minutes to climbing that thing.
But it's just so tempting, right? Because there are 5 items up there, and plus, you know, whatever's behind GT. I mean, it's just I think it's very normal, man. Fear.
Yeah. Me, this guy. Yeah, the other one. So Walter's going to pick up his mirror here. That is going to be crystal number 6 over on FEARagent's side there as he picks up the powder. Man, so that must mean that lamp... Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of people go, hey, lamp's probably at the top of GT. I think there's a good chance you're right. Oh... Man, okay, so we're gonna get a quick save and quit. FEARagent's gonna go back, start at Sanctuary, run down to Palace of Darkness really, really quickly, and that will be that.
In terms of item requirements, right? Actually, so we didn't ever find the flute. Not that, you know, we ever needed it, but we also, I mean, and from what it looks like, as you said, Days, sadly, that we actually did not logically need the boots. You know, kind of also as demonstrated on Walter's side, because he is still able to do all of the stuff, basically, without boots.
Yeah, I mean, Walther is at the point here where if he ended up on Graveyard Ledge right now, he would be able to just go and do this, because he'd get I mean, theoretically, if he ended up on Graveyard Ledge, he'd get the book, which could tell him that, hey, your Eastern Big Key is just sitting here for you. You could have had this anytime you wanted. But yeah, I mean, at this point, it's, you know, a lot of second guessing there. It's just, man.
He does have the fire rod, and he does have the...
He's gonna get his boots, though.
Oh, nice, Walter! Finally! Okay, well, this is gonna be great. I'm gonna be at least happy that he's gonna pick up his boots before Fear finishes the seed.
Not too much before Fear finishes the seed, but before finishes the seed.
The fact that Walter at least has the knowledge where the boots are, he can at least stash a little bit to have some fun.
I mean, to be completely honest, it's not like Fear had the boots for so much more than Walter did. Like, Fear got them, like, at maybe, like, 20 minutes ago, but, yeah,
something
still.
like the hour-and-a-half mark, yeah.
Yeah, it was not a whole lot. Yeah, use your gold sword there, bud, because, those turtles and the hammer is just, they don't work well together. I still don't understand their bouncing there when you hit them with the hammer. It's just like, we're gonna bounce this direction. That makes no logical sense. Well, fair enough.
We can't even see what the hammer's hitbox is.
Man, yeah. Anyway, alright, so this is the final boss over here. Well, the final crystal for FEARagent. So unless something crazy happens with these 17 hearts and red mail, FEARagent's gonna take this guy down pretty quickly.
Yeah, not even needing a silver arrow, right? We've got gold sword, just 2 sword slashes. I mean, silver arrows are also potentially kind of slow too because of the lag.
Yeah, I mean, it really could be. So that is going to be crystal number 7 for this. Now, Ganon is just sitting over at the smith drop-in, the magic bat drop-in right next to the smiths. So this is going to be a quick, just like, walk up a little bit and dash to the right for FEARagent, and then we'll be into Ganon.
Yeah, and I think at this point, Fear has at least 1 red potion. I think he has. I want to say he has 2 red potions. He has a blue potion. So I mean,
I don't.
And you said, yeah, red mail. What, 17 hearts? I think it's fine.
17 hearts, butter sword, and silver.
Butter sword. Here. Yeah, I think he should be just fine.
Yeah, I think he's okay now. Walther might get his way over. Yep, looks like he's gonna be in Swamp Palace here really bit. Yeah, I'd be a little worried if I was Fear at some point here, because I mean, I would be going, hey, where is the if I had to do silvers, just because theoretically, you know, you could always miss the torch glitch here, but since you got silvers, torch glitch is not an issue.
Yeah, I think once people have silvers, I've probably seen, you know, just more often than not, people don't even care, right? They're like, you know, okay, Ganon's, please stop moving, so we can hit you.
I mean, yeah, one of the biggest things kind of comes into, like, a lot of times when you're doing this stage 4, he just wants to get it over with. I understand.
I totally understand. Yes.
Yeah, so he's taking a little bit of time. He's gonna try to set up Ganon here to try to get, well, he's gonna get a double out of that. Didn't let him come down enough to get a triple, but yeah, 1 little more warp, 1 more swipe, and down goes Ganon over on FEARagent's side. So that's gonna move him through. He is still alive in this tournament here. Get your GGs into chat today for FEARagent, as he's going to move on to 4-2 in the Swiss brackets here, as he crosses the line, goes ahead and finishes with a time of, well, let's say 2:06:31.
Yeah, really nicely done, Fear. Congratulations. Looks like, you know, we did get confirmation, but the fact that Walther is standing still, that he has opted to not finish up the sea, totally understandable as well. But hopefully we can get able to get our 2 runners in here and talk to them a little bit about how the sea went for them. That was quite the race, Days.
That was nuts. Man, I mean, just
that bow logic, man.
Go clear the entire game so that you can get your first bow. Oh, what? Seriously? Yeah. I mean, that's amazing there. Just that, like we were kind of joking, like, that is just proof positive that a lot of times just don't even think about following the logic. I mean, that is crazy stuff here. Whew. Fun seed though. I will give it that. Fun to be on this side of it here.
And offense-wise, right? We did get, you know, I think Tempered pretty early, or at least Master Sword pretty early, so it was at least not too much of low percent. Speaking of, we are joined today by our runners, Fear and Walther. GG's, guys.
Yo, GG's.
Hey,
big GG's to Fear.
Crazy stuff here.
Whoa, what a seed, huh?
Whew.
What a seed! So Fear, walk us through your thoughts and your emotions and reactions for when you ended up picking up, you know, your bow, or your first bow, your swords, your blind pull ped check.
Okay, so I cleared Thieves Town. I was like, oh, whatever, it's the green pendant. Then I cleared Hera, and I was like, oh, great, a second pendant. And then I cleared Meyer.
Whoa, what a seed.
And I was like, oh, I lost this race. This is terrible. I didn't even immediately go check pad. I just went to pod, and then I pulled the Eastern big, and I was like, oh my goodness, that was big, but
Hey,
not
Fear,
as big as. Oh, sorry, am I echoing?
Yeah. If you don't mind, maybe mess with your stuff there, real quick. Sorry, don't mean to interrupt you there, bud, but
yeah,
just want to
I'm
make
not
sure get that taken care of.
Hold on. I was like, oh, I lost this race.
But yeah, we were laughing
Like, I
about
didn't even
that
immediately go
whole
check pad. I just went
ped
to
chain
pod,
that you
and
ended
then I
up
pulled
doing there, getting that
the
first
Eastern
pendant
big,
out
and I
of
was like,
Thieves Town,
oh
get your
my
getting your getting everything else out of
big.
that, and just trying to get through and doing stuff. It made things pretty iffy. I think we're good to go here, Fear. Try again there, bud.
Is it me? Because I don't know.
No, I
don't
think it
have
was.
anything changed.
I think it was on our side here. But yeah, go ahead. Bud.
Okay. So I pulled that Eastern big, and I was like, okay, I didn't lose. And then I fake powdered, and I used some swear words. I don't know if that's swear. I was like, holy smokes. So that felt pretty good, getting that mirror that early. And then I don't know, everything just sort of lined up. The only thing I think I didn't love was my dip of Eastern or Ice Palace, but I don't know. I was waiting to do the South Shore stuff till I got a glove, and then I finally got I think I got that hook shot pretty late. I'm not sure how soon Walther did it, but things just sort of went my way this seed, and that's kind of, I mean, 206 for all dungeons, I feel like it's pretty good.
That's pretty solid for sure. Yeah. Like, no, we were kind of, I was a little surprised you didn't, at least try for a bomb jump across to the Stalfos room there. But I mean, it didn't end up mattering too much. Oh,
for the, are you, when I first got there?
Yeah. When you were in GT the first time there, cause you could have,
you know what? I'm not really practiced with the bomb jump. I'll hover it, but I don't really bomb jump it. So maybe I should. I don't know. Maybe I should. That wasn't even really in my mind.
Okay, gotcha. No worries there, because I mean, it's a small thing, but if you had done that, you would have. I probably might have sub-2'd the whole seed.
Yeah,
honestly, at that point.
Swamp. Yeah, I could have done swamp the first time I was there. Yeah, I don't know. It was interesting seed. I was, had 3 big keys I needed, or I had 2 big keys I needed, and the third one, first one of those 3 that I had left, I found, of course, was swamp in the left side of swamp. And then once I got the desert, and then I found desert, I was like, oh, okay, so now I just got to find this pod big key. Where's it going to be? And yeah, it was right there for me. So it felt good. I feel kind of bad though. I think Walther lost a race, or maybe I can't remember, won a race or lost a race in the tournament. Maybe it was the tournament before with fake powdering.
I won one earlier.
Okay, you won one.
Fake powdering.
Okay, so now I don't feel as bad. I thought you lost. I thought you lost that race.
Where was the mushroom again? Because I got the mushroom fairly late.
It was Meyer Vanilla Bicky.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, right. Because I went into Meyer before Moon Pearl, a first trip in. So it took a while before I got back again.
I mean, we spent probably about the last 10 minutes of the seed trying to figure out the logic here, because you guys sequence breaking that bow so early there. Both of you sequence breaking the bow there out of a bow-locked pod, right? Mm-hmm. And then Fear, when you pulled out the Eastern Big Key and you've pulled the actual logical bow out of the thieves, out of the Eastern Big Chest, it's just kind of sitting here going, dear God, Seed, what the heck have you been asking these guys to do?
Also, where's the lamp? Because I feel like the lamp actually puts a lot of this in logic, right? Or maybe it doesn't.
Walter didn't find it either.
I'm trying to figure, because to get to the old man, right? I guess never mind.
I gotta
rescue the old man. I don't know. It seems odd.
I gotta go. I gotta say it's at the top of GT. I'm trying to think of any other place that's in logic, because I mean, you guys saw most everything. I've been following along with a map tracker on my side, right? And there's a handful of single places left that it could be maybe 3 or 4 or 5 or something like that, but we didn't find it. I'm thinking that those 2 GT small keys that you find in GT to go with the 2 GT keys out just around in the world meant that you're supposed to climb the tower and maybe find lamp either at the very top, or in I think it was the lumberjack drop behind GT today. That's my guess. Yeah, that's my guess, but I'm not 100% sure. But
yeah, it was an interesting seed. It was weird clearing those dungeons, those pendants, and just kind of feeling pretty bad. And then to go from that feeling to getting the Eastern Big to getting the mirror completely changed everything. So I felt pretty good after that point. But I mean, I was still watching the I was still watching the race room at the end because, you know, Walther's an excellent runner, and I figured he could pull the same things that I did and beat me.
Not today. I was not a good runner today.
At least you got the boost before Fear finished.
Yeah.
We were you got to Spiral Cave the first time, and then you immediately turn around to go beat was it Desert? We were like, oh no, Walter.
It was like awkward to get up on the mountain, and I had to pick like either doing that or like getting a crystal. Like I'm getting one item from both of them, but I'm also getting a crystal from one of them. So
no, it's very understandable. It's just we know, right, that the boosts were there.
It felt like the seed felt like you never got to play the game. You're just like wandering aimlessly without getting any like good items, in my experience at least.
I think there was a lot of decisions. I feel like there was a lot of like different connectors to take in this seed that would kind of, I don't know. It's easy to get sidetracked in this seed. I feel like, I know that's one of my problems in Crosskeys is I tend to get like, oh, I'm going this direction. Oh, here's a connector. Now I'm over here, and I like skip out on a whole bunch of different stuff. I feel like that's one of my weaknesses as a runner, and this seed I feel like has a lot of that. And I feel like I was probably just more fortunate than anything to have it go my way.
I think like one of the biggest things that like kind of went against me was I went to Hera like right before I got the hookshot, I think. So I like never went back to Hera until like a really long time later. And the fire rod locked quite a lot.
Yeah, I mean, you got there was just it just seemed like today, like Walt, you were chasing.
Yeah, I was like in panic mode at the beginning too because I forgot that I could take like the Turtle Rock connector. So I was like, I know I'm missing something, but I'm not sure what.
Oh, it wasn't even that. It was just kind of like Fear went pretty quickly into Eastern, which was a little surprising considering. I mean, okay, it did have his bow, but did have his but the bow was very this, and yeah, it ended up pulling the Moon Pearl out of this, and
yeah, I know there's like a contingent of runners that don't do Eastern early, and I don't know where Walther falls in there, but I felt like maybe it's just because the seeds I've been playing a lot lately. I feel like I need to be a little bit more thorough, so I'm pretty much never skipping Eastern.
Yeah. And it paid off big for you.
I think I would have been more like likely to go into Eastern if I didn't get that bow from Pot right away. Because then like all of a sudden you're just like one item away from being able to beat Eastern.
That's the problem there, right? You're incentivized not to do it there. It's kind of like the same thing where like you didn't go and clear Thieves Town the first time that you were there. And I mean, that seemed like a play that I would make, quite honestly, and it ended up like because you've got the big key, but at the same time, it's not in logic and reasons, so you don't do it. And then, of course, this seed, you really needed to have done that.
Yeah, because big key Eastern was ped, right?
Yep.
From what? Yeah.
Yeah, I feel it's this mode is so crazy, and I think it's what makes it fun. Is how much do you follow the logic? And I tend to say screw it and just kind of go with it. I go with more like gut feeling than I do with like necessary like, okay, this isn't logic, unless it's like really clearly out of logic. It feels like to me like, oh, it's not in logic, but the thing is, it's like not in logic yet. You know what I mean? I feel like that in Crosskeys is amplified way more than just a regular seed. So I feel like that's kind of my rationale about clearing some things and not clearing things out of logic. It's like, yeah, it's not in logic, but I haven't checked, 40 entrances yet. So it could be in logic, but I don't know. It's done me well, and it's also bitten me. So
yeah, I mean that's kind of the thing. Your results can vary very, greatly just because, of the order you checked something and the just how the seed's feeling that day and all sorts of different things. Like when you're running hot in Crosskeys, you're running hot, you're hitting sub 2 and you're strutting, everything feels great. And then when you're not, you're not, and it can be a slog. So with that, I guess that is gonna Walther, that is gonna that is unfortunately your third loss, which is gonna kind of eliminate you from the from any bracket contention this year. But Freedom, how you feeling?
Yeah, now I get to just purely have fun the last 2 races.
So
that's an upside. And also I get to give Fear shit if it doesn't make it to a bracket race because we made a pact.
yeah, that's right.
So Booth starts Crosskeys?
Nah.
I mean, if we could do it, I would do it. As far as the league goes, but
we'll see,
it's not possible right now. So
it would be nice to be able to at least go fast for a little bit. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wouldn't say no to it, but
as pseudo boots, maybe we'll see.
This tournament has been a lot of fun. I've had to face, I mean, everyone is. There's so many good runners in this. Like last week, I had to do Andy, and the week before, I had to do wall kicks, and this week I had to do Walther. It's like murderer's row right there, and I'm lucky just to get one off of those 3 guys. I love racing Walther. Walther's like the best. Walther's just such a good dude. Like everyone knows how good of a dude Walther is, and he's a great runner. And so getting a race against your friends is always a lot of fun. But now I have a pack to keep, so we'll see. Friendship may be broken after this.
I don't think so.
You've only got 2 more races to win, right?
Just 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's 2 more weeks.
Yeah, but it doesn't get easier, right? Like I'm 4-2, and I'm gonna have to face someone that's really good again. Like it doesn't end.
Yeah,
that's like one of the fun things with Swiss though, because after at least after a couple of weeks, like every race is gonna be like super close or like at least very competitive on paper.
Yeah, this is one point where I'm going to say to everybody who is still watching, please go ahead and if you can, of course, follow the runners. But more importantly, like they're mentioning, we are getting into the what is this? We're into we're in week 6. We're going to go into week 7 and week 8. We are into the elimination stages for a lot of runners. So there are going to be such amazing races, but we also need a lot of volunteers in order to make sure that we actually can stream these races. So if you can jump in, feel free. We can trackers, commentators, pretty much anything. If you can help out with people, it's going to be a huge help with this, and we can get more of these incredibly great races on, and you guys can watch them. Shout outs again today to Scott G239 and Lady Laura Linda who did our tracking, and we need our volunteers, so please everybody jump in, help us out.
Yeah, and thank you so much for Time Will Talk for being able to restream this. Actually, looks like this time slot was actually pretty high in contention, so I'm really glad to be able to have this restream happen.
Yeah, thanks for putting on the restream, the restreamers and the trackers, and of course, Dazed and Clear Mouse. I can't wait to watch this back just because get it good comms for a race. It's so fun. So excited to watch
this one. I definitely was very much when I saw this on the schedule, I was like, oh hey, this is a good race.
Yeah, Clear Mouse sends me a quick message. Hey, can you do this one? Yes I can.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
I'm probably gonna watch it back too. Probably gonna cringe when I see my side of the screen, but it's gonna be good comms, entertainment value. It's gonna be high.
And I'm gonna go eat dinner, so I appreciate it again, everyone, and good luck on your next couple races, Walther.
You have good luck as well.
See you in the league.
I guess it's my cue now, huh? Great job to Walther and Fear. Great race. Thank you, Clearmouse and Days, for your comms, and Laura, Linda, and Scott for tracking. Let's see. Tonight we may have a Z2R race coming up on Zelda Speedruns 1 at 10 Eastern Time. Not sure if it's going to happen or not yet. We're still seeing if we can get someone for it, but it might happen. Tomorrow we have a shitload of stuff going on. There's Minish Cap races. There's Link to the Past DX races. There's a 10 o'clock Wind Waker, 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern Wind Waker Losers Brackets Finals Game 1. There is a race for the Moon Crash tournament in Majora's Mask, which that sounds interesting. All the times and stuff for those are up on the schedule there, but it's going to be going on tomorrow. It's going to be a packed day over here. I'm going to throw you guys over to Adirondack Rick, who is doing some Crosskeys practice for his race tomorrow. And I hope everyone has a good night.
Are we good?
1 second.